And we're ready to go.
Hard style.
I don't understand.
What is hard style?
Just go hard style.
Is it flipped?
Praying. Anyways, welcome to the Midwest Game Nerds podcast. I'm your host, John, and here with me today are Brian,
Hey.
Alex,
Hello.
and today we have the supreme leader of Gojopolis, the man himself, Gojo.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk recent game news regarding Castlevania, Forza, and Commandos, but before we jump into revisiting No Man's Sky next, if you want to follow us on social media or see all the places you can listen to or watch the show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. Midwest Game Nerds now has, Midwest Podcast Network now has a Patreon. If you have a chance and you have some extra money to spare, you can throw as little as $1 a month to keep our shows alive and well. Check it out at patreon.com/MidwestPodnet. That's MidwestPodnet. As always, we do appreciate your feedback, which you can send to MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch, as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Alex, do you want to go grab Lizzie and bring her downstairs?
I feel like I need to at this point.
Yeah, because everyone's going to hear her on the microphone.
They won't hear her. It's all right.
No, she's so quiet. It doesn't matter. Anyways, before we jump into everything else, what's everybody been playing? I haven't played anything in 3 weeks, literally, and it's driving me insane.
You played a little bit of stuff at your bachelor party last week.
I did. I played Castlevania while I was completely wasted.
Yeah, and you also played like 15 seconds of just beats and shapes.
I did. That game was really
about.
difficult to manage in my state at that time. I did play one round of Super Smash Brothers until I was destroyed, and then I quickly let the controller hit the ground and left because I am so terrible at that game.
The people playing Super Smash Brothers that night were going crazy over it. So
Yeah.
There's some video on my Instagram account that's pretty solid.
It-
Instagram.com/MistaJon, MistaJon, if you want to check it out.
Yeah.
And I do want to say Castlevania Symphony of the Night is extremely easy to play when you're drunk and other things. And I will also mention that I don't remember who was sitting next to me because I don't really remember much at that point in the evening, but someone kept saying, "Oh my God, you're showing me secrets I never knew existed, and you're doing things I never knew you could do." And I'm sitting there like wasted, going like, "What do you mean? Since you happen to do this, you just gotta walk around like hit all the walls."
That was Corey.
Was it?
Yeah, Corey saw you hitting the walls.
Because I
in
know
the,
I know every single secret in that game.
Mhm.
Like I know all of them. And I love that game. And when the castle flips upside down and you get to do all the secrets all over again. But then you need
Thanks
like
for that spoiler.
you need bat mode to fly up into them because everything's upside down. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's a
what's
wonderful
20-year-old spoilers on Symphony
Yeah.
of the Night here?
Thanks.
You're so
God.
behind on the times. Anyways, what else? Oh, we did play paintball. That was fun. That's
Yes,
not a
we
video game, but it's like a video game.
It was basically like real life Rainbow Six.
It was awesome. That was like the
the
most
lamest version of Rainbow
Yes.
Six you could possibly find.
whatever, man. That was the most fun I've had in a long time.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun.
So, anyways, what else? What has everybody else played?
I've played a smattering of things, not a whole lot. I did pick up the Mega Man 1 and 2 Legacy Collections for Switch, and
Yeah.
I've played the first couple minutes of Mega Man 1. And honestly, you can rewind all the way back to the beginning of the stage if you
Really?
mess up that
Oh,
bad.
that sounds
my
like
God.
Oh,
like
man.
my kind of Mega Man.
Yeah,
right there.
so I'm excited because I might actually finish a Mega Man game at some
Oh,
point
man.
in the next. And that's because it was cheap with like the Best Buy Black Friday and July sale or whatever it was.
Ooh, I missed that one.
And
Yeah,
the
seriously.
Mega Man X collection came out this week.
Okay.
And I would like to pick it up eventually, but it sounds like it's a little rough on the Switch. So
Isn't there 2 parts to it?
it's 1 and 2, yeah, but I don't know.
The X series was always great.
I prefer the X series because of the dashing and the wall jump
Yeah.
and stuff like that, which are things that I don't believe are ever a thing in Mega Man until
No.
maybe
might
7
be
and
like-
8.
I think it might be like 9 or 10.
I don't think it's in
I
9
don't
or
know.
10 because
Is it?
they
Okay.
went back to like the NES
Okay.
style of things with those. But no, so that's good. I played more Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. It's always good.
Yeah,
I
you
watched
did.
I watched a 22-minute speed run of that game and learned many new things.
Yeah, he basically speed ran it last weekend. It was pretty amazing.
I got through the first. They have like time limits that you can beat to get bonus points, and the first time limit on the first stage is like 2 minutes. And I typically come in like 1:45 or something like that. But when I tried the techniques that I used, I came in at like 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
And that was without having all of the locations of the children memorized.
That's so ridiculous.
so I have a feeling it could get better.
No,
but
you got to levels that I have never seen in that game. So
it wasn't that far. I never got there as a child because I was very bad at the game.
I just
but-
never. I don't know if I ever really got past the first level because I always just like getting in the last boss fight, making them do the Michael Jackson lean, and then turning off the system.
Yeah, I mean
That's like winning, right?
that's
Yeah,
my-
basically.
Well, yeah, that's
you play out Smooth Criminal, the music video, and then it's over with.
that's typically what I do to show people the game.
yeah.
But there was one time I was at Willie's house and I brought it over and I showed it to him. And I think he was like, okay. And I would just kept playing the game and kept going and kept going.
Like,
And he was
that's
like,
cool. You can
he's
stop
like,
now.
you played that game for. He told me like several months later. He was like, you played that game for so long. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I just. But other than that, I don't know. There's a bunch of other crap that I have either purchased or just kind of messed around with in the past couple weeks, but nothing that really sticks out in my mind.
Did you pick up Octopath or no?
I did not pick up
Okay.
Octopath. I downloaded the demo because I wanted to give the like full trial demo another try.
Yeah.
But I haven't as of yet. I don't know if I'm not familiar with the JRPG, I don't feel like I have the attention span to become familiar with the JRPG.
Yeah.
Like I think I could pull Final Fantasy VII out and play it to the end at this point.
Right.
But I like a new one with like new vocabularies and new strategies and things like that. I don't know. Which makes me really sad because I want to be into these things, but
I'm just surprised that Square hasn't brought out like the rest of the Final Fantasy library that they've redone for mobile on the Switch yet. Like, why hasn't that happened? Where's Parasite Eve? I want to play that on Switch. Where's Vagrant Story? I want to play that on Switch. Brave Fencer Musashi would be perfect for Switch.
you would think that now that we're in a world where both consoles are like similar architecture, they would make it so that you could play all of these things
Yeah.
on everything. But
You would think how much developers love to re-release things just to make a quick buck that this would have happened as well.
Yeah.
There are certain games I would buy full price on Switch. We were just talking about this Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I would pay full price right now for that game to be on Switch.
I want somebody to do a special edition of Castlevania that has all of the features from the Japanese Saturn game
Nocturne in the
in
Moonlight,
English. Yeah,
Yeah.
where you can play as
Maria.
Maria as well, and like the sections that they pulled out of the English version
Yeah.
for some reason.
Like the garden or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be
But-
sweet.
Yeah, no, I haven't been playing much else than that. But
Brian, what about you?
It's been a long few weeks or so I kind of
Yeah.
forgot what I've been playing. But I
Destiny
wanna
1.
say I did play. No, yeah, I did play a little bit of Destiny.
I know
1.
you did. Gladish posted
We
the
just
video today.
we had to
Okay.
see.
Not much has changed since last time. Good. Glad to hear it. All right.
Gojo hasn't been on in 2 years, but
Since I don't know when
Yeah.
Destiny 1 was still relevant-ish to talk about. so.
well, no, it was way past the point where Destiny was relevant.
Oh,
we were
okay.
just still
All right.
talking.
We were
about
keeping
it.
the corpse alive. All right.
Anyway.
It was interesting to play though. It definitely feels a lot faster. We just did like 2 rounds of doubles Crucible, and surprisingly, the matchmaking didn't take forever. There's actually some people playing. Yeah. What else did I play?
They are billions.
They are billions, yeah.
Yes, I did play that. I got my ass handed to me. I almost made it, and then it like I don't know
This-
if you guys are familiar
I
with
was
it.
Yeah,
gonna
I
say,
was gonna
explain the
say,
game for
But
a
it
second.
is basically it's an RTS where you have a town and you just are building it up and building up the defenses of it to survive like an onslaught of zombies that will eventually come. But there are also like smaller waves that come periodically
Like
and
millions
just random
or so.
stragglers. Yeah. Billions actually.
Well,
Well,
this
the
the
smaller
smaller
waves.
ones.
Yeah, the smaller waves
They
are
are
I would
billions.
say they're
yeah.
more in like the hundreds.
Okay.
They're pretty
Okay.
small
Okay.
waves. They
They
get
are
increasingly
hundreds?
larger.
Okay. All right.
They'll tell you which direction they're coming from, but that's not always good enough because like the way the maps are set up, if they're coming from like the west and there's a lake in the way, they might split up into 2 groups, stuff like that. It's really cool. It looks good. It plays good. It is very difficult. I mean, all it takes is one zombie to get into like your tent area where all your settlers live, and they all turn to zombies. And then before you know it, like a small incident has become a large problem. And yeah, it's like I managed to get. I think I had only one little wave left that was hitting me, and then I finally lost because they come from all directions at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I had fended off all of them except for this one part that I just neglected to reinforce the wall with extra.
It's always that one
dudes.
spot.
Yeah.
Do
all it
they
takes
like-
is like one little weakness?
What style of are these like? Can you?
There's a variety of styles. There's like slow
Is
zombies
this, are
that are
there
easy to kill.
World War Z pile on top of each other to overcome your walls zombies?
They do not do that.
Okay.
There
That's
are
good.
fat ones that are really good at just banging on the walls like till they crumble, and then
okay.
they're basically like siege zombies. And then there's these fast ones that will actually jump over the wall, but they're few and far between. At least on easiest, I couldn't even win on easiest. It's pretty sad. But I mean, there's a learning curve as far as like the buildings go. Like any RTS, like learning the build order takes a while.
Yeah.
But now that I have that down, I think I could restart it and actually make it all the way.
That's cool. I never thought of there being like a real time strategy game where you're dealing with zombies.
Yeah, well, there's
Like SimCity plus zombies is interesting
I
to me.
assume it's inspired by StarCraft. The original StarCraft had a level that, like, you had to survive the night. Like, every time it was nighttime, you would get attacked by infested Terrans,
Interesting.
and then during the day, you'd have time to
Build
like
and-
rebuild your defense and stuff. And I think
cool.
that's kind of where they got that idea, but they've done a lot more.
Yeah, they
with
made a
it.
whole game out of it.
Yeah.
That
I
sounds
believe
cool.
I believe the other Fortnite mode that nobody plays because they don't want to pay
Save the
for it
world.
is also like that
Yeah.
Yeah.
in some respect.
Yeah, well, this is single player only, top down. I don't think they haven't. It's in early access still, but it's very polished. But I don't know if they plan on adding any sort of co-op or anything. But I think it would be really cool because I played some StarCraft 2 co-op recently,
Yeah.
which I had never explored that part of the game. It's like its own mode entirely. It has its own specific levels with like not really a narrative, but I mean they give you actual mission objectives and stuff. And there's-
Yeah, I assume if you did the normal missions with two people, you would just destroy everything quite quickly.
Well, you also you play as you pick a character from one of the three races, and they have a specific set of units that they're allowed to build.
Yeah.
And they also level up, and the more they level up, the more other units become available. That starts out really easy, and then it gets progressively more difficult. Like way easier than even the base game.
Interesting.
But that's pretty cool though. Yeah, and then Islands of Nine, the new battle royale game. I didn't play too much of it though, because I feel like it's kind of janky. Like I was watching videos of it and stuff, and I expected it to actually be kind of polished.
yeah.
I will say,
What is
other
is
than
the
the
hook?
first like couple days, it does work better than PUBG did in its early days. Like it doesn't seem to have any issues with lag, and like getting into games is pretty easy.
what is different about this one other than
It's
the name?
smaller scale. It's 50 people, so the matches are a lot shorter, and they're a lot faster
Okay.
because the character movement's just way faster, and it's not like, I don't know. It's janky still, but it's less janky than PUBG,
Is it
I
free
guess
or do you
was.
have to pay for it?
Oh, it costs money.
Okay.
It's like 25 or 30, I think.
All right.
Cool.
Anything else, Brian?
Not that I can think of.
He'll remember in 10 minutes.
I will.
Yeah.
What about you, Gojo?
All right. I don't think I've played like a new game.
Okay.
in, I don't even know. Couldn't tell you. I've been playing a lot of the Final Fantasy X remake.
Nice.
Because I guess I didn't play that enough when it came out, and then when it came out again, I probably have 1,000 hours, just total, like over like 20 different saves in that game. It's top 10 game all time for me. If
Nice.
5 of the top 10 are all the Metal Gear Solids, which they are. So that's actually more prestigious than it sounds. it's it was originally the PS3 remake. It's very good because it's not actually a remake. They just didn't change anything at all about the game. You got the international release of the game, which I had never played. Doesn't really do too much. Adds a few new skills and some overpowered bosses to fight, which is good because I'm a little overpowered myself in that game. And it's great.
How full is your sphere grid?
It's 100% completely full.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
with every character. I
Wow.
got that achievement the other day. I was like, well, all right.
Oh man.
So I've somehow surpassed my actual PS2 save, which is
That one was
disgusting
building
to me.
for decades.
I did it in half the time too. Like PS2 save is like 250 some hours, and this one I'm like it's like 150.
You had
I'm
like school in the way and stuff for the.
Yeah, I
Right,
did.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it.
But you
It's
did it.
crazy. I did it.
I'm proud of you.
Oh my god.
Were you playing it on PS4 or PC?
Originally it was PS3, and then you can actually I got the digital copy of the remake on PS4.
Okay.
And you can just transfer your save,
Yeah.
which is
That's
great.
cool.
And it transfers to the Vita as well because
Oh,
it did come out
really?
on Vita. Yeah.
That's sweet.
So that's
Something
great.
came out on Vita.
It's great. You can just take little Yuna and you can slap somebody with a stick, and it does like 5 nines worth of damage. It's fantastic.
I don't
God,
know
I
what
love
that
it.
means, but it sounds like a lot.
You know how like Final Fantasy games usually the damage max out at 9999?
No,
He's
I don't.
never
I've
he's never
one.
played
Never,
a Final
okay.
Fantasy game.
Well, they do.
Hmm.
But now you just add another 9, so I'm doing like 100,000 damage
And
on
you-
every hit.
you
It's
know how,
actually
like,
a big deal.
your
Everyone
white
involved?
mage and anything usually does no damage because
is-
they're made
Yeah.
for magic.
Yeah.
Well, Yuna is the white mage and shouldn't be doing any damage.
Gojo's white mage is in God mode.
Yeah, every character has 255 every stat, which is
Oh my
max.
God.
Except for luck, which is like 125, because it's very hard to level in that
Yeah,
game
yeah.
if you ever try. But literally, that's high enough that like 75% of my hits are criticals,
That's ridiculous.
which is great. But it also doesn't matter because they're doing max damage anyway.
Right.
So it's like I should stop playing that game, but I can't because it's the
It's
greatest
so
RPG
good.
ever.
Yeah.
probably.
It's beautiful.
It's got a great story.
It's
Character
oh,
development's
God.
great.
Like when I was a wee lad, I was like, Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game ever, and then
10 came.
10 came out, and I was always like, well, this is also great, but I still kind of stubbornly clung to the commonly held opinion that Final Fantasy VII is like the best. It's not even close.
It was
It's
only
honestly not even
considered the
close now.
best because it was the first 3D one, I think.
Yes.
Like
I think it was-
it's
yeah.
still a fantastic game, and the story is incredible, and it's transcended generations at this point, to the point where we're begging for it to come out again in this remake that we're never gonna see. But yeah,
But
I love 10. I thought 10. I loved the characters in 10. The only the music was incredible.
Oh,
like,
music's so good.
the new battle system, like the introduction of a new battle system, was a good change for them because it was like different, but it wasn't so different that like it shied you away from it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a good game.
The kind of, I don't remember what it's called, but the more static time battle as opposed to the active from the earlier games is great because I would always end up in like 7 or 8. I'd end up with all these abilities that I didn't want to like scroll through the menus to use because I only had like X amount of time to pick an attack. I'm like,
Right.
just hit attack and then do it. But this one I can actually like
Just use
Line
Knights
out
of the Round,
strategies.
and then you have 30 hours.
W
to
summon Knights of the Round, go make a sandwich.
A sandwich.
Take a nap.
You can make a 3-course meal while that's going. You set Knights of the Round, and then you put Mimic on 3 characters,
Oh
and
my
then you
God.
walk away for a day.
Seriously, it's great. And even after all that, one of my Final Fantasy characters does more. Final Fantasy X characters does more damage in one attack than like 6 Knights of the Round.
That's so ridiculous.
Suck it, Knights of the Round. I've also been playing Far Cry 2.
Really?
Yes, I got my I got a PC back, so I can actually play my Steam games now.
Oh, very
I'm
nice.
like, you know what? I want to play Far Cry 2. And hot take, it's the best Far Cry.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Now it's got a lot janky about it. I don't. Has anybody played it?
No,
Yeah.
I came
A
in
bit.
at Far Cry 3, so
Okay.
I
Far
had
Cry
a hard time dealing with malaria constantly.
It's great, man. So Far Cry 3 is like, as far as like mass appeal, definitely the best. But Far Cry 2 is so interesting.
it's just unique.
Yeah, and it's like once they hit 3, it's like, oh, we found something that really works for us. Let's copy that in every game we ever do from
Yeah.
now on. But Far Cry 2 was like so experimental in a way. Like, yeah, you within the opening cinematic, you get bit by a mosquito or something and you get malaria, and now you're dealing with this the rest of the game. You'll just have malaria flare-ups in the middle of firefights, so you got to pop some pills real quick. And it's just like everything about the game is just so unique. Which for like a major, what's part of a major franchise now, a shooter for that is not common. To see
They don't take chances like that.
They
with
don't,
the big
no.
franchises.
And what I love about it is you're just like this random mercenary in Africa, and you're fighting this civil war. You're not some like overpowered tourist who just lands, and suddenly becomes the local
serial
god
killer.
of war. Yeah.
Right.
No, you get shot up. You're better than everybody else, but not like you're not just running train on whole villages. You can't just go in and just empty everybody out. It started the healing thing where if your health drops low to heal, you have to do some kind of disgusting health animation to get health back.
Yeah.
Which was amazing at the time. I'm like, oh god, why is my thumb facing that way? And yeah, it's this great thing. You're digging bullets out of your thigh or something, and like if you use a gun for too long, it gets worn down and starts to jam, and like it'll just jam on you in the middle of a firefight because you're in a civil war in Africa and you only have shitty gear.
This all sounds very like Kojima to me.
It kind of is. There's a lot of little systems that tie in and make every combat encounter feel like it could go wrong at any minute.
Yeah.
Well, you can like drop a torch and like light a field on
Oh
fire.
my God,
on
yeah.
it.
The
With
fire in
that
this
game
game is
pioneered
incredible.
that. It wasn't 3
Yeah.
that
Holy
started
shit.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, you could. So I would clear bases out by like sniping from far away and blowing up all of the explosive objects. It would light the brush around the base on fire, and everybody just goes scrambling, and it's great. And things are just blowing up. Ammo piles are exploding. The bullets are shooting everywhere, killing people.
That sounds great.
I mean, it has a lot of flaws, which I think is why it gets overlooked. Particularly the story is like, it's not. I think the story is great for what it is, because it's not supposed to be this grand epic. It's, you're just a mercenary. You're just working.
Yeah.
You're going to work. It's just an average day of work, and you're just, happen to be killing people in the middle of the Civil War. But all of the audio, all of the dialogue is like everybody's talking really fast with no intonation or anything. They're not. They're not acting. It's like somebody just put a script in front of them. Just read those words.
Read this as fast as you can.
Yeah, just get this in.
We
real
gotta
quick.
keep the file size down.
I think that's what they did.
It probably is. They wanted to add voice acting, but they needed to get like they had to stay within a certain length
because
of
it's
file.
still old enough. That's like
that's really funny.
That's like I think that's like early PS3.
that was
era.
Xbox. Wasn't it?
No, that was
It
Far
wasn't-
Cry Instincts.
It
was
wasn't
on,
360,
was
was
on
it?
Xbox.
If only
I
we
think it
had
was, yeah.
the internet.
Fuck you.
It was, but yeah, it's one
Is
of
that
the.
what this is?
Like, I don't think they had figured out Blu-rays yet.
Yeah.
or
So
This is 2008, so it is like early PS3 360.
okay.
Yeah.
So did it have a singular nemesis similar to Voss and Pagan Min?
That was, you could tell that's what they were going for. Because
Okay.
your mission is you're going to Africa to kill the Jackal, who is this arms dealer.
Yeah.
And he if they had spent any time like building him as a character and allowed him to like speak like a normal human and not just
Yeah.
race every word together like this, and he just started quoting Machiavelli or whatever. He's really weird. Like you could tell if they made the same game and just actually took a Far Cry 3 levels of care with the story,
Yeah.
it would have been a masterpiece.
Because that's what I think made Far Cry 3 was Voss was such a great enemy, and
Voss
the dude
was
who
terrifying.
acted him is so good.
They're so good. I think that's when they figured out, hey, let's put character into these. Let's
Yeah,
make
for sure.
characters for these games. And that was another big part of what made 3 so good. If they had discovered that a little earlier, but then I think it would have undercut kind of the gritty realism of 2.
Man,
But it
but I
would've-
think
probably would've made
like
it a little
everything
better
you're
also.
saying about 2 makes me wish they put some of that into 3. Like other than just like the name and like the idea of like stealthy jungle action game, like
Yeah.
if they would have injected a little bit of
God.
that extra creativity, 3 would have been a perfect
Well,
game.
Yeah, if you combine the creativity and the gritty hardcore stuff of 2,
Yeah.
and then like the story and setting of 3, I think you would have had like the perfect Far Cry. The
For
perfect
sure.
game. because Far Cry 3, you can tell they've got an idea for a story
Yeah.
about, this just average white boy comes and he discovers kind of over time through harsh circumstances that he's just a born killer and how he's losing his humanity over time. And they never really play with that.
Yeah.
If they had, I think that would have been fantastic. We'd still be talking about, we are still talking
I
about
still
Far
need
Cry
to.
3.
I need to
Fuck,
play
okay.
5. I really I've been waiting for it to go on sale because I don't think it sold that well, but it's still full price, and I refuse to pay full price for it.
Yeah, has anybody played 5? I mean, I know
No,
Rick
no
has,
one in the
but-
world has
okay.
played 5.
No.
I know.
no,
like
no
two
one
people.
bought it.
Really
I
no one?
I will get it. The debate is whether I want to buy it on PC or console. If I get it on PC, I'm gonna need a bigger hard drive though. So
I
I
played
just-
it for 5 minutes at PAX.
I just
Yeah,
kind
me
of
too.
heard
Pretty.
it was a lot more of the same.
I just
which
heard it was
is
too
kinda
open.
tiring,
It was too
right?
open world almost is what
Mm.
the kind of the reaction I
Well,
heard.
yeah, they actually took a lot of stuff out. Like you don't climb towers anymore and stuff.
Like, is it even an Ubisoft game at that point?
No.
Yeah, I thought that
it's
was
not.
like
We
What
made fun of them
qualifies it?
for the
Crytek
fact.
again. Oh,
they
God.
they listened to our podcast and they took towers out of all
I mean,
games.
even in Rainbow Six, they left Tower in. Just take it the fuck out. Like, take it out.
So now,
Oh,
now
if only you had to climb him before you
Yeah,
could win.
instead,
the
you
match.
have to descend in Tower in Rainbow Six, and that's awful.
apparently now that they took out everything that people didn't like in Far Cry, now everyone can realize that Far Cry games are bad. So next, we'll go to some news.
What a shithead.
They're just not good.
All right, so we're going to news. Is that what we're doing?
Far Cry 2 might be fine. I've
Oh,
never,
you would hate it.
I haven't played Far Cry
I think you'd
1,
hate it.
2, 5, Primal. Those are the ones that I have not touched.
Oh my
Primal-
God,
Primal
Instincts
was
is
just-
is so good.
Or that.
Has anybody played
Primal
that
was
one? Oh, my God.
ridiculous in so many ways. It was fun, but it was also dumb. Like the fact that there is, and I have it on my YouTube channel. There's like a white trash caveman who he talks like this, but in caveman speak, like he's got like
Oh
he's
my
got like
God.
this
Does
like
he have a red hat with white lettering on?
he might as well, man. Make
Trucker
Pangea
hat.
great again.
Oh God.
Make Pangea whole again. That's what it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want them to go dumber. I want them to put like
Like more ridiculous.
Blood Dragon was good.
Blood Dragon
Go
was fantastic.
further than that. I want it to be just insanity is what I want it to be.
But I'm gonna add a quick.
a far cry from reality, you could say.
Shut the fuck. I'm gonna add a
This
quick.
is the last episode of the Midwest Game Nerds
Just
podcast.
gonna unplug.
Couldn't
this
even
now.
make it to 100.
At least with me on it.
I'm gonna throw in a quick fourth news story before we jump into what we actually had planned. But they are, I don't know if it's actually out yet, or I think it is out yet. But they added Rainbow Six downloadable content to
Wildlands.
Ghost Recon Wildlands, and it's like some sweet mission where you're like hunting down Caveira. Which
Oh,
Sounds great.
it's like
looks
everyone's
Team
dream.
Killer Extraordinaire.
Like
Yeah,
you
there
get to
we go.
team up
Great.
with like IQ, I think, or no, with Twitch and hunt down.
Really?
Hunt down
Oh,
Caveira.
that's awesome.
It looks so cool. The trailer was really sweet. It makes me want to play some more Ghost Recon. I just want to play more games in general right now. I'm kind of
Any
dead
games,
inside.
maybe?
Any games at
Oh
all?
God, has anybody fought the Predator in Wildlands?
Oh man, we were playing it when Predator was around, but I don't think we even got the mission prompt.
Because Nick and I tried to do it, just the two of us, and it was not possible. Well, it was probably possible if we were a little bit better.
Yeah,
But we surprised we aren't a little bit better. We're just good enough to like beat the game and be fine, but we can't kill the ultimate killing machine. But it
makes
was
sense.
really cool. Oh my God.
you probably have to do it from a chopper.
I don't know if you can.
Really?
Yeah, it's very situational. Like I think like your radar is gone.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he would shoot down a chopper if I tried to get close. Plus, it's like in the jungle, so you'd have to fly around trees and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like cloaking and going to different spots, and then he's got the shoulder cannon, and he'll uncloak and then just like shoot at you. And
Oh,
if
man.
if you're not paying attention, you're done. And I've shot him with the Desert Tech probably about 60 times, and he didn't die. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is
It's
ridiculous.
the
I've
ultimate
got
killing machine.
I've got the friggin' cable gun here, and I can't kill a predator. Come on, come on. But it's
All right.
awesome.
Yeah, I didn't do that one. I did the limited time, the Bigfoot DLC, but that one was a letdown because it's not actual Bigfoot.
Oh,
It's just a sniper guy named Bigfoot.
well, that sucks.
Yeah,
How do you know actual Bigfoot?
What?
Why are you doing this right now?
Why you gotta be like that?
Okay. Do we want to get on with some news?
Yeah, we can keep moving along.
yeah.
Netflix has released a trailer for Castlevania Season 2.
Yay.
It is coming October 26th. There are 8 episodes rather than the 4 that came out 2 years ago at this point.
Yep.
I know John has watched it. Brian, you've watched it too?
Oh, yeah.
Gojo, did you watch any of the series?
Not even like a little bit at all.
It's really good. It's really, really good.
Just watch it all at once. It's like a good
Yeah.
movie length viewing.
Yeah, it's like a Castlevania movie. So
Okay.
I'm excited for more of it. The trailer looks great. I don't know if there's a whole lot else.
Yeah, it's
You guys are excited as well?
Very
I'm
well
super
done.
excited, especially because I don't really watch anime anymore. So this kind of gets me into it because it's one of my favorite game series of all time.
Yeah, it's that fake anime because it's not. They're not like it's not a Japanese
It's made
company.
in the
Anime?
US or something.
I just
Yeah.
made that up. Is that a thing? Did
It's
anybody
pretty
else
good.
find that? 'Cause
I
it's
don't
gonna be
Anime.
Let's copyright that right now. 2018 Game Nerds.
Anime.lol.
I watched Glow.
So did I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I started Glow. I
Fantastic.
need to actually continue.
Is there a
it.
Glow video game?
I
There
hope
should be.
Why?
soon.
Yeah, why isn't
There
It
should
would need to
be.
be on like Commodore 64 or something. 'cause
Yeah.
it would- Not new Glow, like old Glow, OG Glow. They might have knocked out some, I don't know, some shareware or something for.
Yeah, that'd be
For-
pretty good.
Comes on a 3x5
Macintosh
disc.
Yeah, you get one.
Oh.
It actually comes
character
on
for
like 8
free.
of them.
No, it comes on like the 5.5 OG floppies. Yeah. And it's like Glow video game is handwritten on the
Yeah.
label. Yeah, that's the game. I
Uh,
play the hell out of that though. Oh man.
That'd be pretty good. Brian, your story. Forza team is removing loot crates from Motorsport 7,
Yes.
and they're going to avoid paid tokens in Horizon 4.
Yes.
Aw.
I thought this is worth mentioning because it's a step in the right direction from a developer once again.
7
get
came
rid of
out
this.
last year,
Yeah.
right? And then
Or
Horizons.
No, I'm sorry.
I think 7 came out last
you're
year,
right.
and
Yeah, no,
Horizons
yeah.
comes out this year.
Yeah,
right?
7
Horizons
came
4.
out last year. Yeah, Horizon will come out this fall. They just alternate years. Yeah, nobody ever really liked the token thing either. Basically, like they would always give you some tokens for free with these games. Like that's been in those games for years. And it's just like an alternate currency instead of the currency you can actually make in game. You can just use these tokens to unlock cars, and you could pay real money to get tokens to just to as a shortcut to get cars. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not
I don't
really necessary.
think it's a hot take to say I'm not really a fan of of that kind of economy, but like it's tough because I mean, it's not exactly a risk-free industry, you know. It's like game makers have to make money to make future games and to continue supporting games.
For sure.
Yeah,
And you can't really always do that just with the $60, at release.
I mean, that's like my question is like what price point do games need to be to where we can stop doing that bullshit? Because I'm kind of tired of it personally, and if a game is going to engage me as long as some of these latest games have, I'm willing to pay more money for them. I bought Rainbow Six on 2 different things. I've spent like $150 on that stupid ass game because I love it so much. Like
You've paid like $200 for Destiny 1, and that's not even a complete video
it's
game.
true, yeah.
it is now.
I paid
5 years later.
I paid $108 for Destiny 2 to buy
Oh,
the
God.
deluxe edition on PlayStation and the $8 version of D2 on my PC when it was on sale at Best Buy. But yeah, like I mean, what is the price point? Like if it's $100 to buy a game that I know is going to be done, for one, that's the biggest thing. Is it going to be finished? And 2, is it going to have content that keeps me engaged?
Yeah.
That's worth $100. Like
Mhm.
I'll pay $100 for a game if that means I get that out of it.
The thing to me is that it seems like the Forza games are the ones that you can go and buy, like the $100 deluxe edition. That
It's totally
comes
worth it.
with
I
a
did
bunch of
last
stuff.
time.
You get it like 3 days early, and there's more
5
cars
days.
and stuff like that. But like, if that is what it is, then you would think they wouldn't also have loot boxes and microtransactions. Like, apparently that is not enough.
Well,
to have the diehards paying $100 for the game.
Well, because I mean, the diehards make up what at best like 10% of the people playing your game, probably.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, that's not even. This isn't even taking into account piracy and everything. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the quality of games needs to increase so much, but the price point has not increased since what, like maybe the 64 era. Like the games have
Yeah.
been $60 since like what, PlayStation 2?
The
maybe?
cartridges, 64's cartridges were $60.
Oh shit,
and
okay.
or like $64.99, I think is what they were priced at.
Well,
and
that's
then
a little on the
PlayStation
nose.
2 games were like the peak of $50, and
Yep.
then PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 is when everything bumped up to 60.
Except PC games stayed 50 for quite a
Well,
number
'cause
Yeah.
of years
you-
later.
Yeah, I mean a lot of
Well, and they're still even
particularly-
cheaper if you get them off of Steam. Like,
particularly now
Yeah.
because they don't have a physical component.
right.
That's
But
a big
even
part of it,
even
but-
like a lot like okay, no, if we take out the physical component of these games, I bought Destiny 2 from the store on
Mhm.
PlayStation.
In a box, a code in a box. That's
Yeah,
what
or
I
you-
did too. 'cause
Or yeah, or you
that's
get a
$2
code,
bucks.
and I still paid $60 for it.
Yeah.
Take the physical component. Like if we got rid of the physical component of everything, which would piss off all the collectors. Like
Oh, I'd
anybody
hate that,
collecting
yeah.
games would be so angry. Like what is that? I mean, it's pennies probably for them to make a a package.
Yeah, it's certainly not a $10 difference per
Right.
product, but
And we
Yeah,
all know
it's-
they underpay their art departments anyways, because that's how you do things in this world.
absolutely.
But I mean, that's like if I could just, I don't know. I'm willing to pay more money, but the quality of the game has to be there. And I feel like with some of the more recent games, like obviously like Rainbow Six is one that I'll use as an example because I've played hundreds of hours of it at this point, and I continue to want to play it, even though I haven't played it in a while. But it's like that's a game that the company is continually revisiting, and like all the purchasable content is cosmetic. It has nothing to do with gameplay.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with purchasable content, like cosmetic items. Totally cool with any of that.
The difference with that game is it actually lets you buy the items you want,
right.
which is fine.
Like
That's-
the
that's
random-
what-
yeah,
I don't
random
like
loot
having to
crap
drop
is-
$100 on loot boxes in hopes that I might get what I want.
That's really
That-
that's shitty.
yeah.
If
And
you're,
that's
if you're paying money,
basically-
you should know what you're paying for.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be buying lottery tickets to get I don't know, a colorful helmet or something.
Well, and that's where I think the industry is going to go with that, because I think a lot of these companies doing the sort of actual loot box, like lottery sort of system, are getting like in a lot of shit for allowing kids to quote unquote gamble with mom and dad's credit card.
Right,
Like
yeah.
that's a problem. And at least in like other countries around the world, they're going to stop allowing that. Like
Yeah.
you can't do that anymore, or you have to at least give people the information to let them know what are the actual odds of them getting specific items. Like like in China, you have to tell consumers that exact statistic, or else you can't have that
They
kind of
wouldn't
thing in your
care
game.
about stuff like that there.
But
Well, at the same time, I mean we used to buy booster packs of Magic cards and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it's similar to that. But the difference is that like I couldn't just hit a button when I was a kid and continue receiving booster packs.
the
Where
difference,
like if a parent puts a credit card on an account and the kid is like, okay, I'm gonna keep pressing this button and I keep getting more, like that, I think is the big divide between those types of things.
and the difference between like booster packs and like DLC loot box content is like you literally never knew what you were going to get. Like you had a general idea that you were going to get like 10 lands and like 5 cards that actually mattered.
The other difference is you could trade them for what you really want.
That's true.
Right.
And you can't do
it's-
that with
it would
loot
be
boxes.
cost prohibitive to be able to purchase exactly what you want. That kind
Yeah.
of thing. That's the problem with. I have no problem at all with buying like cosmetic items for games. Oh my god, did we pick that up?
I hope so.
Like even like for GTA, you can buy specific vehicles that so you can you could spend your mom's money, buy a jet, and blow up everybody in the game. It's like I certainly don't enjoy that, but I think it's important to. I think you should be able to do that.
It just needs to be transparent enough for
Yeah.
people to understand. I will pay this and get this.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna, drop $5 to get a couple loot boxes and I get what, like, I don't know, maybe some common boots or something. It's like you're just fucking with me now. Thanks, game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remove the random element, and as long as continued microtransactions like this that are at least transparent, and they're very clearly supporting the further development of this game or some future project. I mean, I understand they're not going away, and they shouldn't. We just need to find a better way to do them without dicking people over.
There was a big news story that we missed was with Epic Games has changed the split on assets that are sold through the Unreal Engine store. So people who make assets that you can put in your game that is being made on Unreal Engine, they used to get like, let me look up what it actually was, but they have, because we are making so much money on Fortnite, we can give you creators more of the money that you would that
Good for
people are
them.
spending. So like, at least in that sense, like, yeah, it takes it being the biggest video game in the world and making the most money that a video game will probably ever make. But the fact that it put Epic in a position, and they were able to be like, you guys are making stuff for us, we're going to give you more of this money because we don't need that much of it back. Like, they're taking, I think it's like 12% or something as like overhead for like hosting content and listing it on their store and troubleshooting and customer service and stuff like
If they're
that.
making
But
all that money, they should put some people back to work on Unreal Tournament.
What I really want to know.
it did just get
should
an
make a
update,
new
I
Epic
think.
pinball
Really?
game.
I think
Hell
so.
Yeah.
Epic pinball.
That was
Oh,
my
that would be
shit,
great.
man.
What
Yeah,
I-
Epic
what I
Pinball is
really-
awesome.
What I want to know is, what is it going to take for a game like Destiny and a developer like Bungie to turn around and create content like Rockstar does for Grand Theft Auto? Like, what is it? At what point are they just going to be like, all right, fuck the subscription, like the yearly subscription bullshit we're putting you guys through. Here's a bunch of awesome free stuff that's going to keep coming. Just keep buying all this other garbage that's in the game. Like,
Sorry, Epic went from 70-30, so makers would keep 70% of the profits.
Yeah.
Now they get 88%, and Epic keeps 12%. So
Good for
that
them.
is- yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Epic's becoming a
In-
great developer.
In that case of like, you want Destiny to be that game, I think what it takes is like look at the game, look at the games that are winning at this. You've got Fortnite, which is free. Literally everyone is talking about it, from like third graders to Roseanne Barr on Twitter. Sorry everyone, I just brought her up.
It's
But
pronounced with a hard R.
R.
Roseanne.
oh, lost me there. The
Yeah.
But
okay.
and then you look at something like Grand Theft Auto 5, which came out for 2 different generations of consoles and is one of the most successful games. That is a paid game,
Right.
and you still have to pay for. Like, you have to get to that level. And Destiny has made a lot of money, but it has not made Grand Theft Auto and Fortnite money.
But why is the
Honestly,
question? Like,
I mean,
is
because
it?
it's a shitty game. Now on to No Man's Sky. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
think part of the problem with Destiny is straight up Activision. Like, if they had a different publisher, I think maybe things would be different.
I don't disagree with that.
If Epic
so-
Games won the contract or whatever, or awarded them the
Well,
10-year deal that they have.
I think it's a matter of, well, yeah, obviously it's easier for GTA to continue to support the game because, yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto. It's in a class of its own as far as console games go. Destiny might, I don't know if it's, I don't want to say it's more, it's not as popular, obviously, as GTA. But I think maybe it's, I don't know, it's, yeah, either a lack of imagination, maybe not coming up with that kind of, like, GTA just kind of came up with this business philosophy, or not business philosophy, or whatever. I don't know what model.
But
yeah, that's the word I
everything,
wanted.
like, you don't
Yeah.
you don't need to you don't have to spend real money in GTA. Like, if you just
Right.
play the shit out of the game, you can get everything you need. I mean, same thing with Fortnite. If you play the hell out of the game, there's a lot of stuff you can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like-
So it's a matter of,
I mean, the same argument can be made for Destiny. If you play the hell out of Destiny, there's a lot of stuff you can get,
No,
but you have
except-
to play a lot more,
but you can't
and you don't
play
get
a
to choose.
whole bunch of Destiny to play the next DLC.
Right. And you can't play a whole bunch of Destiny to choose that specific cosmetic item that you may want.
Right.
Like, you have to go through the process of getting the stupid bright engram thing to, like,
Yeah,
turn into whatever you want
They
it.
totally dropped the ball not letting you throw them $10 for the Thriller dance again.
I
'Cause
would
you
have
would
gladly
have.
done that.
Yeah, when they did away with like purchasing silver with real people money, I was like, why would you do that? Why? That's
Because people love loot boxes.
or people be like, no, microtransactions are stupid. I don't know. But I like then I don't know. Don't buy it. But
yeah,
no, that was probably a poor business decision. Kind of made because people hear microtransactions and they start throwing holy water and
Well,
putting up the cross and stuff.
and
But
the
it's like
scale of support that Rockstar puts behind Grand Theft Auto of like, here are new heist missions, here are new game modes that you can play online, here's all this stuff. Like, if we'll see it with like the Division 2, because the Division 2, the first year of stuff is all free. And maybe they'll be like, all right, year 2's free too, because you guys are giving us enough money elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, if it's kind of a different framework of video game, and it's not like Grand Theft Auto is a great experience to play. You hit go on that, and come back next year, and maybe it'll be through the loading menu. And then, like,
that's the problem.
it is just so poorly optimized. Like, they are literally like copy and pasting code in a lot of places in a system that's not designed to hold any of that.
I would play a lot more if the game would load ever or correctly half the time, or wouldn't, like, after I did a mission, I wouldn't lose my friend that I was playing missions with to
Yeah.
a different game.
And that's a game with the scale of that world. Something like Destiny is way smaller than that,
And they still fucked it
and
up.
they still have trouble like generating that content enough. So
I'm
it's
pretty
like,
sure they just don't have tools good enough.
which is
to
crazy because they
crank
had that
things out.
problem
But
with
that's the
Destiny
thing.
1,
That- yeah,
and
that
they
was-
made it better.
That was the problem with Destiny 1, and then they optimized their tools to make to be able to release content faster was like what we were sold.
Oh, by the way, there's only one raid when you had 3 this time
It is
with
really
Destiny
big.
1.
yeah, I think you need to. Everybody should. Well, not every game. I don't want to speak for everything, but Destiny at least should move to more like the GTA kind of model, where there's maybe a constant revolving door of content. If maybe not old raids leave or something, but you should. I don't know if always moving to the next big expansion is really the best way to do it anymore. If you just had maybe like weekly or monthly new content, like new missions, or they could even be
I
little
think-
ones that you piece together.
I
with
think that's the
existing
direction
assets.
that they're heading with it, at least. I mean, I haven't been paying a ton of attention to it anymore because I just don't care about Destiny anymore.
Oh man!
But I mean, the new
Wait, what podcast is this?
it's
It's
no
been
longer
a couple years, man.
it's yeah. But I mean, the direction they're moving, it sounds like that's what they want to do. They want to have more content more often, but then they also have this, like, I don't even remember what they're calling it, but like their version of like the Game Pass for like Fortnite, where like it has like they're doing like these other additional updates that like you kind of have to pay for is kind of what I got out of it. I could be completely wrong, but
Yeah, I think you're completely wrong.
That's fine.
I think we are seeing Ubisoft become more successful with a more Grand Theft Auto style thing. The Wildlands stuff is all free. The Rainbow Six stuff is technically free. You can pay for it to get it faster, but
Yeah.
you can get all of those operators just by playing the game.
I mean, even playing casually, I feel like you can unlock an operator every month and a half or two.
Yeah.
I'll keep throwing Ubisoft money in Rainbow Six if they can keep spitting out quality games like the latest Assassin's Creed, like Ghost Recon, like Mario plus Rabbids. Like
That's
if
kind of the
if
joke,
we
is to
keep
make-
getting content like
quality
that
stuff.
out of them, they can keep.
I'm not always pleased
take
with
my
their
money.
games, but I never feel like I'm getting ripped off. They're always full of content.
Yeah.
So, game makers, if you're listening, step 1, make a good video game. Step 2,
Finish
Doing
it.
that anyway.
let us put a tip jar in there that gives us costumes and shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But make sure it's done. The
Step
game has
3,
to
profit.
be done.
I was gonna say towers.
Oh yeah,
More-
step 3,
more
put
climbable
towers.
towers.
In the game.
More
we wanted
towers.
less before. Now we need at least a few.
Yeah,
we
now
need a
that-
couple of towers climbing. Well, I think that's one of the things about Anthem, at least, that I'm looking forward to is the
It's
verticality.
more vertical. Yeah.
I like that aspect of it. Like, and that was what I liked about Assassin's Creed and Far Cry was climbing the towers and being able to look out over things and see. Like, I liked feeling like the world I was in was actually huge. You know. That's
Mhm.
part of the benefit of riding the mountain all the way
Or,
to the
you know,
top in Grand Theft Auto,
Stealing
and
a
then
plane.
jumping off of it and flying down. You know, like that's cool to me. So
Man, trying to ride a motorcycle down Mount Chalaid is so good.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can ride it down like 5% of the way and then slide the remaining
Right.
95 after you've fallen off.
and then get wasted.
You got to start up on the lift building. and
Yeah,
then
that's
jump
the
from
fast way
there.
to go.
I don't do vehicles with wheels anymore. It's all propellers. I literally fly to the bank.
He's
I'm like,
even
fuck
got a
it.
hat with a propeller on top.
Oh my god! Just and then I take off. Yeah.
All right, and then our final news story. John, this is you.
They're bringing out a new Commandos game and a remaster. I am beyond excited for this because I never.
Oh,
this
my
is one of my
Calypso,
favorite games
yes.
from. This is one of my favorite games from like 8th grade, maybe. It was a real-time strategy game where you had a select number of particular operatives who had special abilities that could go in and do certain tasks to help you reach a final task per mission, like invade an enemy's base and steal X amount of intel, yada yada, things like that.
From like an overhead RTS.
Yeah, it was
type view.
three-quarters view, like
Yeah.
very much like Diablo and
Yeah.
anything like that.
It's turn-based, right?
No, it's not turn-based at all. It's
Oh.
real-time.
Oh.
It's awesome. It's such a great game. I'm really excited that they're actually going to remaster because
And that is a lot like Shadow Tactics.
okay, I haven't played Shadow Tactics,
You
so I
should-
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, check it out.
It's
it's-
cheap, right? It's on Switch.
I don't know. It's not. I got it on Steam.
Actually, I
think
got
was
it
like
for
40.
free from Twitch Prime. They give away a lot of really good games.
I mean,
Oh.
make a note
If you
Make a
have
note
Prime.
and pick it up sometime because it sounds like
I think I have it, and you can
Okay.
play my stuff.
Yeah, I don't have time to play anything right now,
Right.
but
Mhm.
when I do have time after the wedding, I will play a lot of games. I'm not leaving the house for like 3 weeks. That's a lie. I have to work too much. But yeah, this Commandos is a really great game, and they did have a sequel that I never played because, again, like I was discussing with you guys earlier, that I never got far enough into the first game that I felt I was okay to go get the second one because this game did not run very well on the computer that we had. I just remember it being a really fun game that I wanted to spend more time playing, but the computer we had was so slow, it just couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
I'm really pumped. I look forward to playing the remaster on my awesome gaming PC that I now have. Hopefully it runs well.
yeah. Calypso. It says developers Calypso.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did a kind of what sounds like a similar sounding game called Crooks with a Z because video games. The Big Heist, and yeah, you were playing as like 70s like thieves. And
Okay.
you did like bank heists and jewelry heists and stuff. It was every game I've played from that particular company is like, this is a great idea and you did it sort of all right. That's kind of the game. It's good. Like it's not
It's not even
great.
that old.
No,
Kind of looks like an
that's
isometric Monaco.
Absolutely.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
Monaco
It's-
is a
Cool.
good heist game
It's
that
a
I would
lot-
like to play more of.
Yeah, it's got kind of a Monaco type feel to it. Just real graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably not as good, but it's definitely worth checking out.
It looks like it has great hair.
Oh well, yeah. it's
Well,
the
that's
70s, man.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Commandos
$10.
Commandos would be a cool game to have to play multiplayer co-op with, to have other people play the different
Oh, yeah.
operatives because I
That's
just
awesome.
remember
It
there
didn't
being
have co-op, did it?
I remember there being instances. No, there were instances where you had to set certain things in motion with one character while you were doing things with another
Yeah.
character, and that being slightly frustrating. But that was also my feeble 8th grade mind who didn't really care about anything.
Well, and the mechanics of games at the time.
yeah, were clunky.
Yeah.
So, but it's you had. Well, that's the thing is you had to know the hotkeys for each of the characters,
Yeah.
so you knew like when you clicked on that one what you had to press to trigger specific abilities and things. Like it's a cool game though. If anybody has a chance to check it out, if you have a game, some kind of PC that can play those old ass games, like it's worth it. It's worth checking out because it's fun. So, yeah.
All right.
You guys want to talk about No Man's Sky?
No. Oh wait, no. Let's just wrap it up now.
Let's talk about Far Cry 2 again.
Yes. Oh my god. Did I mention the malaria?
I feel like we just did this 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago though.
The same exact people.
So No Man's Sky came out with a big update this past week. It is also now out on the Xbox One for the first time.
Yay.
It is, I believe, $50 on the Xbox
Yeah.
One.
Boo.
But So they put out a big update. It's the next update. It's called Next, and it's update 1.5.
God, that's confusing.
So who's on first?
What happens when the next update
What's the
comes
sequel
out?
going to be called?
So basic Next.
They're just going to call them Next forever.
Beyond
No Man's Sky after Next, I believe, is what it will be. But,
anyone's sky.
so this update actually has multiplayer. You can play with friends, and you can go beat people up and take their stuff. You can fight epic space battles with your friends. There's also a lot more. I mean, in the past 2 years, there have been a lot of things built out with like doing mission boards and quest lines and things like that.
Settlement building.
So yeah,
That was
settlement
not
building.
part of the game.
So we figured it would be a little bit more prudent to come take a look at how the game has developed over time and just see how this new update is. So yeah, Gojo, I think you have been the one who has played most in the interim.
Yeah, I've basically every time a major update has come out, I've kind of popped on and not popped on. I've got about 200 hours in the game.
Oh, wow.
No, so I was a little different, I think, than most people I've talked to who were excited about this game, who like followed it closely. You know, when the developer was making all these grand statements about what the game would be, I didn't know any of that. I just knew that it was this big thing, and it was just what everybody was talking about. I'm like, yeah, I'll pick up a copy.
This
I'll pick up a copy.
Big explorer sandboxy game.
Yeah.
Where you travel worlds.
Which
Yeah,
sounds
which
like
sounds-
something you would
It sounds
like.
great. Yeah.
How many lanterns do you have?
You can make your own lanterns, dude. I could make a planet full of
Have you
lanterns.
made
in
it
this
so you
goddamn-
can't look at that planet from several galaxies away?
No, you know, it
He's
does
created
that on
his
its
own
own.
sun.
It does that on its own. It just crashes when you look at things.
Yeah.
No, I honestly, this game gets a lot of hate for something. For it doesn't. It gets a lot of hate it doesn't deserve just because of the promises that were made. I think the biggest I think I said this when we recorded about when the game came out. The biggest problem with it is still that it's a full price game. If this game was like $30 or $40, it'd be perfectly worth it. I'd
It's
have
$30
no
bucks
complaint.
on Steam.
There
Yeah, it's
you
on
go.
it's on sale this week. So
Bing,
if
bang,
you want
boom.
it.
Yeah, that's the perfect price point for it because
For
I
one more
mean,
day.
technologically, it's what you can do in this game is amazing. Just basically infinite galaxy or universe full of star systems you can go to them, you can land on them, you can walk. It's mind blowing to me still. And but back then it wasn't really a game. It was just kind of like a glorified tech demo almost.
A
It was
walking
very early
simulator.
access.
Yeah.
Without being an early access game.
Yeah, and I think once whatever the update was that let you do like bases and stuff, that
was Foundation, I think.
Yeah, I think that was.
Sounds about right. Oh.
It's gotten a lot better with every. Oh dear.
You're logging into
The No Man's Sky website from a
Oh,
link
man.
off of that. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, wow. But yeah, every
No,
update
they can't
has-
even
has
code their own
made it better.
website.
And then once you can get like a freighter, once you can make your own base, it kind of there were things to do, which the game desperately needed. And I think still, if you're just looking for kind of a chill experience to just kind of go home, relax, fly around, see some worlds, do a little bit of exploring. You won't really get a lot of rewards for it, but it's just a fun way to relax and play a game, you know?
It is chill.
Yeah.
Mostly, except for today. I had an interesting adventure, but I'll
Oh,
get to that.
Well, and I guess so. Did either of you guys get a chance to play any multiplayer?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I
had a guy pop into my session.
Okay.
Yeah.
played with Josh, aka Fuzzy Bojangles.
So what did you think? Like, I think the multiplayer is probably the biggest thing from the next update. What did you think about that experience?
It was a little janky. Like it didn't update properly. Like where our
Where he
location
was,
was
yeah.
icon wise. Like it still said he was on a planet when we had left it like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But other than that, it seemed like pretty lag free, and we were able to run around and like do stuff.
Yeah.
I had built a base on a floating rock.
Yes.
On a planet, and he didn't realize it was a floating rock and fell off the edge, and then didn't have enough
Jetpack fuel.
fuel to summon his vehicle down to him. So I ended up using like the terrain manipulator tool, which didn't exist, I'm pretty sure, when I started the game
Yeah,
originally.
correct.
And I built like I jumped down there and then I built like a land bridge back up.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god.
And
Nice.
yeah, so that was interesting.
You're playing on PC, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and when you started it, you played on PS4, right?
correct.
Do you like it better with mouse and keyboard?
As far as like building and mining and stuff, yeah, I like using mouse
Yeah.
and keyboard. Flying with a mouse and keyboard
Mm.
kind of blows,
I heard that.
especially when you get into combat, which I hadn't done until today.
The
combat
combat
is terrible.
The
with a
combat's
mouse and
kind of rough with a
keyboard.
controller too. It's it's manageable,
yeah.
but
It's
it's
not
a
great.
little rough.
Yeah, well, apparently, if you attack a freighter, they just keep attacking you till you die.
Oh, everybody.
basically.
Yeah. Pretty
Oh
much.
god, yeah. If you get in like space trouble, like if you're on the planet, you can Sentinels or the little Sentinel bots are
Yeah.
easy to get away. If you do that in space, you're fucked because they
Well-
send 5 waves after you have to beat everyone, and they're worse each time. It's like just quit the game. God.
Yeah, I ran out
Just
of
power
I
down.
ran out of
Yeah.
resources to put into my shields.
Yeah.
So then I just like had a chase. They were like chasing me to the nearest planet, and I went down to the surface and I was like weaving in and out of terrain trying to not get shot. And then I eventually landed, and then they took off, but every sentinel in the area started attacking me
Mhm.
instead. So I used the terrain manipulation tool and burrowed underground and then closed myself off.
This man knows what's up
That's
right here.
that's apparently how you have to do it. Like the sentinels can be relentless. Like I shot at a few sentinels and then I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill me. And then I
Well-
got in my ship and fired off the ship, and then I got people on me in space, and then I
Yeah.
killed them, and then I went back down onto land and like hid in a corner
The-
and somehow got
Dark
away.
corners, man.
The
Dark corners.
problem
all
is
the-
I'm not sure if I'm like still wanted in space
I
because the
think that-
entire like armada is up in space above that planet.
Mm.
I don't have too much space experience as far as that goes because I know you got to keep your nose clean up there. But usually once your wanted level goes away, it's gone.
Yeah, I don't think that's not gonna like negatively
It-
affect your standing.
It's
with
not
anybody.
like 3 weeks from now I'm gonna go back to that town in Skyrim and
It-
they're gonna
it's
want
not
my
a
head on a
it's
pike.
not it's not like Red Dead Redemption, like wanted level online type of stuff. But
I
No
would, I
5
would just totally
stars in
drop a Morrowind
GTA.
reference right now, but I don't know if you guys would appreciate it.
Mm.
But no, I played a little bit of multiplayer. It was a little clunky because the person I was playing with our friend Nico. Nico popped into my game, but he started a new game. So his starting planet became the same as mine. And then eventually he could not find the hermetic seal you need to like fix one of your like the icon for it was actually on a different planet. But it turned out that I could make one for him and then give it to him,
Well, that's cool.
which was good.
Teamwork, man.
One thing I did notice that is nice is like if you interact with like alien artifacts and stuff on the planet, or like loot those like the buried things that give you
Buried
the
tech.
whatever resource you need to get blueprints and
Yeah.
stuff. Those are all relootable by other players.
Oh, that's cool. It's so the other player has to go there to get it,
Yeah,
but they can. It's not like
Yeah,
you're consuming.
like
Okay.
they're in the
That's good.
same
Okay.
spot and stuff because like Josh had like excavated one of those already and it showed up on my map and I was able to loot it
Oh,
again.
nice. Good.
What I will say is that the multiplayer's a little rough in the sense of like if you do go get missions from the mission board at like a
See,
space
I don't
station,
know where the mission board is in the space station
it's up there in one of the alcoves with the
When you're-
aliens.
because
When
Like,
the
flying
aliens
in.
told me about it, but then I couldn't find it.
it's to the right next to the faction guy.
Okay.
So you're right when you're flying in.
Also, I don't understand why the teleporter doesn't work. I don't know if that's part of the story or what.
Probably
Because
'cause you're
I
doing it wrong.
The teleport.
I built a teleporter at my base.
Mm.
Yeah, and where does
and
it teleport
theoretically,
you to?
it should let me teleport to it from a star, like a star base or whatever
I think you have to.
space station.
Do you
I
have to
think you have to
use
use
it?
it first. I
Use
think you
it
have-
from the planet to go to the space station?
It's man, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, so you built a teleporter, and you can't use it from there, or you can't like teleport.
I tried
to
it both ways. It
Okay.
didn't work.
Well,
it
it
just
could
says
just
it's
be that
offline.
the game is kind of
Well,
broken
yeah.
right now. That could also be.
Yeah.
it.
The other,
Well,
the
that's
other,
disappointing because it was a lot of resources at the time.
the one thing that I'm also a little bummed about is that they still haven't made it that easy for me to go back to somewhere if I haven't made a teleporter on that planet.
Yeah, well, that's why I made a teleporter so I could get back there. But now I'm like three
there's-
hyperspace jumps away, and my base is left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Which it wasn't a very good base anyways. But
so you can set a waypoint to systems you've been to before. From your options menu, you
Okay.
just if you find a planet and you're like, I like this planet, just make sure you upload it because it'll be a lot easier to find it in the future.
Okay.
especially if you name
pro
it.
tip. Yeah, if you name it like Dick and Balls or something. Oh man, I named these two planets that were right next to each other, Cocks and Dicks. I think that's hilarious. I don't know about you guys. Those are probably gone now. But I'm gonna
all
redo
the
it again.
planets I discovered early on were all named after the Midwest Game Nerds podcast.
Mhm.
Like they all had MGNP in the title.
I think those have all been wiped since,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Did
I
they-
think
did they
I think
wipe
they did do
everything?
a couple wipes, but
Mm.
Probably 'cause
if
of
you
all the-
find it out there,
Probably
let
because
us
they had
know.
a galaxy full of cocks and dicks.
Probably.
Cocks, dicks, and balls.
Oh man, I
Um,
think I named an entire system poop. Literally everything in the same.
The poop-
like I like,
Like
I don't know
poop
what
even
it was.
all the
system?
Like
fauna
poop, 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 poop. Yeah, yeah. It's just literally anything I can name was all named poop. It was great.
It gets tiring coming up with names after a while. You know,
does,
like
like-
if you actually spend the time to do all that, it's fun for like a half second. And I mean, that was the early game. Was like it was fun for a half second to like fly to a planet, discover a few things, and then go to the list of like, okay, these are the other discoverables that I need to find. And then you just look at it and you're like, well, fuck, there's like 14 other creatures I
get
need to
tired just
discover.
scanning
Like,
things 'cause it
I'm just
takes
gonna
so
fly
damn
to
long.
another planet that has fewer creatures and then figure that out.
Here's
Like,
what I will say, and then we can get to some of Brian's thoughts coming back to the game from a while. But today, I hopped into a system after a hyperspace jump, and there was a space battle going on, and because a freighter was under attack, and I fought off all of the people attacking the freighter, and
Were
then
they
the
actual
freighter.
people?
The
or-
freighter no, they were not
Okay.
actual people. They were enemies in the game.
bots.
But the freighter captain hailed me on my ship and was like, "Hey, come talk to me in my ship." So I went and I landed in a freighter,
Yeah.
and then I got out and talked to him. And he's like, "Hey, you want to control this shit?" And I was like, "Fuck yes, I do." And now I have a freighter, and I
he
can
just
send
gave
it
it to
on.
you because
Yes, yes.
yeah.
You
I
know,
can-
I found out today they cost like 13 million or
yeah,
something.
unless
I'm
you
like,
show the
"Ha."
captain how big your dick is, then he
Yeah.
just gives it to
Apparently,
you.
yeah.
You show him cocks and dicks, and
Show them all the cocks and dicks,
yeah,
and then you
but-
use the cocks and dicks to take out all the other cocks and dicks, and then everybody gets the cocks and dicks.
Yeah.
And then Alex walks away with a giant freighter shaped like a dick.
And then he can fly
But
from the cockpit.
that felt cooler to me than anything I did previously in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Except for when I walked into a cave and there were a shitload of vortex cubes on the floor, and I was like, I am rich now. That was awesome too.
You got lucky.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, they're not worth nearly as much anymore.
Yeah, but
I harvested some weird pearls out of the
Albumin
creepy
pearls?
eggs.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with those yet.
sell them.
They're taking up all my inventory
Sell 'em.
space, though.
Sell them immediately.
Sell that shit.
I
yeah,
was
no,
just hoping to open up the egg and get attacked by a face hugger, but that
That-
didn't happen.
It happened to me earlier.
yeah, there's these like fucking blobs that spit acid
That's
at you.
part
and
of the new
toxic
update,
gas and, like,
I believe, too,
yes.
is
Yeah.
that weird alien race.
Yeah. But anyway, I think the game has come a long way from where it was.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
yeah.
definitely, I'm more intrigued to screw around
To keep
because I
going.
feel like there's just a lot more going on.
Yeah.
But I'm still having, the same issues I had originally as far as, its playability goes. Like, the inventory is just way too fucking small. I mean, how am I supposed to even build anything when I need, these 3 resources and then I don't even have room to carry them around?
You gotta build
that
some
was-
inventory.
that's the point of the game. Like I
The
think
majority of my initial playthrough was upgrading my suits and
That-
things so that
yeah,
I
but
can
I haven't
carry
even
more
seen
shit.
a suit upgrade yet. For
I think
inventory
that is
space.
the treadmill of this game. Like I think
That's your grind.
that is
Yeah.
the grind is like, okay, I'm
that's-
getting a bigger ship that has more stuff. I'm getting a new weapon that has more slots. I'm getting a new suit, or I'm getting upgrades to my
That's
suit
fine,
to get
but
more.
it's just too soon. I can't even get a good start in the game because I have to constantly be deleting shit or ignoring things that I
You
want.
just gotta sell it more. I,
I think it's like a lot like kind of a lot like a Fallout or something. You need to learn. You're learning what it is
Well,
you need to pick up
Fallout,
because there's all
though-
this shit to pick up. And I'm like, well, I've got these albumin pearls. I'm like, these are cool, right? But you can't do anything with them. So you're kind of learn. You have to look at
You're still learning what's trash and what's
yeah.
not.
So you have to learn like, well, what's the next thing I want? What do I need this upgrade that's gonna let me survive longer on this planet? Okay, what do I need for that? And so the early game is just building yourself up and then eventually, you learn how to craft, I don't know, like a signal beacon that can help you find those drop pods that let you expand your
Yeah,
suit.
you just need to choose your role early on as to like how you want to play, and then as you do that, you'll discover other things that help you kind of branch out. But
And in the defense
I don't
of
know
the
why
game,
I'm talking. I haven't even fucking played it in 2 years.
in the defense of the game, I think now I deleted my save and started a new one from here. Obviously, you did that too because you didn't have it on PC.
Mhm.
But I think if you just follow the next steps of the game, you don't have to worry about any of that because you shouldn't be going and finding like fucking pearls and shit anyway. Because it's like, hey, build this, jump to space, find this thing,
Well,
go
and
here,
beyond
do
that,
that.
like, I got to the point in the game where it's like, do you want to keep?
Do you wanna
going
continue or
along
do you
with
wanna do
this, or
free
do you want to
roam?
do whatever you want? But even long before that, I was running out of space just from collecting the shit around me, and then being told I needed all this other shit
But I
that
think
I left on the planet, the last planet. I don't. My problem is, okay, like Fallout. Okay, yeah, you have a limited amount of inventory space and whatever, but you can drop shit on the ground and then come back and pick it up. Like, you can't do that in this game. It's gone. You have to discard it. There are no stashes.
there are stashes that you can build.
Well, I haven't found that yet. Like,
Yeah, you
Like,
can
I
build
think-
vaults for your base.
I think you eventually get there, and I think it will all be
when
there.
I eventually get there, I think I'll be very.
But
content.
I just want to say I don't have that problem at all because I'm just like, oh, I'm not using this right now. I'm gonna sell it because
Yeah,
I
but
can
I don't
find it
even
on the
know
next
what-
planet.
Some of the stuff I found is like I don't even know what it is or
There's-
whatever.
Sell it
and-
anyway.
That's the thing. Nothing. You're not going to come across anything in the game that's that important that
Okay.
you're like, I need this now. I don't know what
It's
this
not
is.
like that
but
one
I'm gonna
weapon that
hold
you
on
may
to it.
never see ever again.
Right.
in
Yeah.
Fallout.
There's not really anything unique. It's all resources, and once you learn where those resources can be found,
Or
you
how
can
you
find them
can-
on any number of planets.
Very
Yeah, so
toxic planets that look like
Yeah.
shit.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
How cool is the character creator?
it's not bad.
it's all right.
Decent. Yeah. I honestly, that was very cool just to actually be something now.
Are you really? Do you get to like pick your facial features
Yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So you can
it's-
choose like a race too.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
could be like one of those like Gek dudes.
Oh,
or
John's
hell
whatever.
back in. Yep,
Yeah.
I was
one of
back in any.
those-
I want to play the game. I just
I
have
know.
no, I don't have any
Shit.
fucking time,
I know.
man.
I get it.
No,
God.
it's not like Saints Row level. But
Okay.
it's better than most games.
Okay.
The character.
Yeah,
creator,
nothing's
honestly.
quite on the level.
Can
of
you
Saints
better
can
Row.
you
than Sea
alter
of
like
Thieves.
eye spacing and things
Yeah.
like that? And-
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So it's a little more elaborate than I was
No,
expecting.
it's not super in depth, but it's
Do you get to choose your spacesuit color?
6 or 7 out of 10. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you can change all the
everything colors.
colors.
Fuck yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
this game sees Sea of Thieves and they start to like build off of each other. I think having
They are kind of similar.
yeah, it's like Space Sea of Thieves. Although it
Yeah.
would be way cool if you could FTL that shit and have 4 people operating like a freighter.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's like
We're not there yet.
Sea of Thieves.
I could see a
meets-
world where it gets there, but
Yeah.
I would imagine, like, assuming I still had the PS4 version, I could dock on your freighter and
Oh, yeah, no.
get a
oh,
ride.
probably
Yeah.
yeah. If you were playing in my like
Yeah.
instance or whatever the hell it is, but
That's
the-
seamless, by the way, at least
Yeah.
on PC. Like,
Yeah.
people
no,
can
it is.
just drop in, leave, whatever.
The other thing I will say, I wish with the multiplayer. So I think we were talking about this and then I got interrupted. But with the mission board, people you're with don't get the missions that you have picked up.
That's
It's kind of
annoying.
like Destiny dailies where you need like everybody needs to go to the board to get the mission. I don't know if everybody has the same missions.
Does
or
that
not.
include the freighter missions? Because there are missions you can pick up on the freighter that I was under the impression were like group missions.
That I don't know.
Okay.
That I'm not sure because I just got to the freighter. But I know that with the ones that are like go kill 14 of these creatures or
So-
stuff like that, not everyone will get it. They can help you do it if that's your mission,
Okay.
but they will not necessarily be able to
don't
like
get the
turn in the
credit.
quest
Okay.
and get the
That's
credit.
where they
for
need
it.
to learn from Sea of Thieves.
Yes, everybody who's like
But-
in your party.
Which,
But
talking
then
about that game.
because No Man's Sky, I could be in your game and I could maybe just like drop on your world. I'm like, hi, how are you? And then I could leave and I could go do my own thing, and we could
Yeah.
technically
Oh, yeah.
be in.
You can go
so,
anywhere you want, really.
Yeah, so I mean,
on
we
your
could
own.
be in a party, but we're not doing the same shit.
You
You
know, that's
Yeah.
true. But I wish there was a way to be like, okay, let's link up. We are
Yeah, that would be good.
we are drift
That would
in the
drift compatible. Oh my
drift
God.
compatible in the
add-
Jaeger,
Yeah,
and
add
we are going to
Jaegers
go
to
and
pillow games, please. Do it
There
now.
is friendly fire too.
yeah.
Found that out.
You can hurt each other. You can take people's stuff. You can do all that kind of stuff. So, luckily, I haven't run into people being dicks yet, but I'm sure they're out there.
Are you gonna? Can you run into other players that are not in your game? Like, are people? Are we all in the same universe
You
here?
can join others' games.
Right.
I think, because when you start up the game, you can say, play my game open with other people or join someone else's
Yeah.
game.
But it's not. We're all just on some. Like you don't have like 500 people on one server, and it's.
I don't think it works
Yeah,
that way.
okay.
I think if you hit join someone else's game, I think you start where you were, but you will be in that instance with somebody
Good,
or,
okay.
that kind of thing. So,
So actually, both you guys started a new game, right?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I did not, and it does not work very well.
I kind of figured because
Yeah.
they've changed a lot about the different elements that are around and how
Oh, yeah.
those are like grouped and refined and things like that. I
Yeah,
will
so-
say I do really love the refiner. There's like a refiner now, and you can use the refiner. You can put ferrite into the refiner to make pure ferrite, and then you can take that pure
Yeah.
ferrite and put it in the refiner and make magnetized ferrite. So you can like upgrade
Your
the
resources.
that you have to
That's
like
cool.
build different
You can
things.
downgrade them too. You can take your magnetic ferrite and make it into more pure ferrite.
Mm.
Because I ended up with
Yeah.
an absolute dickload of magnetic ferrite because like so much of my stuff. Because I basically the day before this came out, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go say goodbye to my base. I'm gonna go say goodbye to Gojo Outpost Alpha, and I just moved everything out. I put it in. I have 6 ships, and I filled them all up with stuff from my vaults. And I
I
just
didn't know you could have more than one ship.
once you get a freighter, you can have 6.
Ugh.
Oh,
and
well,
they
there
just-
you go.
They're just all on the freighter. So I've got like 3 haulers. I've got 1 ship that I've just customized straight for battle, and I actually never use it because it's not really that much of a difference. And then I've got 1 that looks really sweet, and then I've got the one that I use. But yeah, I just loaded up all my ships. I said goodbye to my base, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to hurt. On Planet Mothra, I just waved to it, turned off the game, came back, everything had changed. I was like, it was gone.
Yeah.
But all of those, like everything I had turned into a different element. I'm like, whoa, what's going on now? So I just started with like 15,000 sodium, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with all this? Jesus.
You can recharge
Salt-
your
Salt
shields,
Bay.
apparently.
Yeah,
I
I'm
found
gonna make
out
so
today.
much salt. Yeah, no, so it's useful, but I
Yeah,
had to.
I have
learn what
0
all that stuff
sodium
is
now.
for.
That's another usability thing that I assume happened in the interim is that now you can just hit, John, you can hit the down directional button and pop up a thing to recharge anything that you need to recharge without.
God.
So
Once they
so
did that,
Unless
Yeah.
you're playing on PC and you can't figure out which button actually selects the item that,
that
you
would
found.
that would
Well,
be a
I
hard
was trying
time.
to recharge
for
my
your
shields
master
that
race.
way, and it wasn't working. And I was a little upset.
Yeah, like I was when I got in that space fight earlier, I was like, oh, I gotta hit pause, and then I was like, wait, no, I tapped the down button, and then it immediately popped up with recharge shield, and I was like, oh my God,
thank
yes.
you. Yeah.
But with mouse and keyboard, I found it actually quicker to just open the menu and hit the
That's
thing.
sad.
Yeah.
No, but so the problem is that they designed a lot of these new features to kind of be activated through a tutorial.
Yeah.
So all that I didn't get that.
Mm.
There is no tutorial. There is no you can like take your old base and plant it somewhere else, which I did. I'll talk about that in a minute. But so like the blueprint analyzer or whatever that you
Yeah.
need to unlock new features for your base, I can't get that. It's not in the game for me.
No, and they had problems with that
Whoops.
when the game first came out because I'm pretty certain that like I did something where I never learned how to make a hyperdrive,
Oh God.
and therefore any ship that I upgraded to that did not have a hyperdrive could not have
Oh,
a hyperdrive.
There was an issue with the pre-order.
Yes,
ship, I remember.
yes,
Oh,
that's
God.
what
Oh,
happened.
okay.
Yeah. So, I imagine those types of things can still plague them
Yeah.
here, especially with people trying to bring over old saves. But
Yeah.
I think with this big update, it probably made most sense to just kind of be like, all right, forget that save.
No,
We'll
it's-
start from the
People's
ground
saves were actually getting corrupted too.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
hot fixed that real quick.
Yeah. God, what else? So I did that. I restored my old base because I'm like, well, I kind of want to revisit it for old times. I did, and oh my god, I almost wept because I'm like, oh my god, there it is. It's been like 5 days since I've seen you. Oh, but like it didn't form together right.
Yeah.
Like all the like the doors would open and the actual wall of the base would still be where the door like would open, so you couldn't enter in the door. I had some underground sections that now there's like a ladder and it's just like the top rung is like poking out and you can't actually go down. It was super janky restoring the base. So basically I would have had to like destroy the base almost completely and rebuild it. But I did actually I just rebuilt my old base, demolished it, and I got all those resources back. I'm like, oh shit, what do I do with all this?
There you go.
So that was neat. But oh my god, so literally the worst thing. I'm just going right into this because I said the word ladder and I had like a fucking meltdown in my brain here. Ladders are so horrible. They upgraded ladders so that now you just like vacuum suck right onto the ladder, and you have to like climb down it. But you're climbing like you're like a 6-year-old.
Why do I need a ladder when I have a jetpack?
Slow, because if you want to build a base that has multiple levels, you need to put ladders in it.
You can't just jetpack from one level to the next.
No, because if you like put one room on top of another, now there's just like a solid floor in between them.
What if you removed a piece of the floor?
I'm going to have a sprawling ranch.
The only way you can do that is with a ladder. Which, if you come within 6 feet of the ladder, it's like, and it's like, honestly, if I had to choose between the game constantly crashing and fixing ladders, I'd be like, I can deal with crashes. I cannot deal with these fucking ladders right now.
You know what? The auto vacuum for space stations is really, really bad too. Like they made the opening for you to get into a space station, it's like hitting the fucking Death Star in the sweet spot. Like and so
really,
if you want
I think it's easy.
If you want to fly in the right, like you can do it wherever you want, but like the way that like I usually come at it through an angle that I like clip through the space station and then into the tunnel, and it just looks so bad.
Freighters are kind of worse because I'll come at it from a weird angle, and they're like, "You're now docking with the freighter," and then my ship turns around, but I'm not actually docking; I'm just flying right back.
That's weird because for me, it just seems like I just fly into the light blue, and it just takes over, and I'm docked.
You've been docking for years, so
well, okay, fair enough.
Yes.
I'd say the other thing is I played Elite Dangerous for like 5 or 6 hours. Not that long. But
so
yeah, probably about
5 or 6 hours.
Probably about 3 hours of that was me trying to fucking dock with a space station. Because it is.
You just all you have to do is
punishing.
you take one and you put it in the other.
Yeah, I got it. And then
I was just
and then it
imagining
over.
Brian playing Elite Dangerous, and it's the scene from fucking Interstellar where they're trying to dock as the thing is like.
It's really hard. You need to try out. I need to record a video of it sometime.
Please do. Please do. I'll
it's
set
like-
it to the Interstellar sound. We'll get a lot of YouTube hits on it. It'll be good.
And you just cut to those clips of Matthew McConaughey crying.
It's basically like 3-dimensional parallel parking. It's very difficult.
Is
incredible.
it as hard as landing on the carrier in Top Gun? Which is literally the hardest thing you could possibly do in a video game.
It's probably that hard, but I haven't done that.
My dad
man.
used to land the spaceship in NASA Space Simulator on the Atari
I thought you were going to say in
2600.
real life.
It's almost
No, like it was the only
so
like
fuck you with your Elite Dangerous.
our dad, Alex and my dad used to play NASA spaceship like shuttle simulator on Atari 2600 for days. He would fire it up. He'd give Alex a bottle, put it in his
Shut
baby
up, kid.
jail. He'd buy the rest of us Slurpees and tell us to go play outside. Take a long walk off a short pier, and then he would sit and he would play Spaceship Simulator until the end of time. And I there was one day I watched him launch a spaceship. I literally sat all day and watched him play all day while Mom was at work, and he took off. And he did all the space stuff. He orbited like the moon or whatever, and then came back down and landed the spaceship. And I think that's the happiest I've ever seen him.
We should
he
probably-
would love
He just
Kerbal.
picks
I
you
was
up and
gonna
just
say-
hugs you.
Kerbal Space Program is very.
We should probably just get him Kerbal Space Program, and then he'll just learn a bunch of astrophysics.
He just
all
needs to
over
stop
again.
buying those stupid Sony Vaio PCs.
Yeah.
We got to build him a PC.
I don't think Kerbal Space
So,
Program would be that.
Docking in No Man's
taxing,
Sky is
but-
not this hard, though. Yeah.
It's not, but it just
It's not
looks
that
really
hard.
stupid.
How is docking
very
in No
weird.
Man's Guy?
Okay. Do we have any other final thoughts on this update?
I will say I like getting the frigates. You can recruit like more frigates for your freighter and send them on like missions, which is there's really not much at all to it. It's just like you
Hit a
guys
button, go do a
this.
thing, come back
Yeah.
and give me stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's
at
like
least there's,
running
like-
a Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or something.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. Yeah, but I mean,
An
at least it's
80%
like
chance of coming back.
I can kind of feel like I'm doing something. Like I'm running this operation. Like the Gojo Solutions Expeditionary Force is being sent out into space to spread the message of Gojo and our solutions. So that's a cool step. And now I can go around and I can just like recruit frigates. And I'm like, yeah, come work for me, brother.
I feel like that kind of solves a little bit of the problem that Brian's having, but obviously, like you have to work to that point to like get the frigates
Yeah,
to
Oh,
get
yeah.
them
I
to do
just
things.
want handouts, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like those guys can go off
Fucking
and like
lube.
collect resources that you need, and then you can just keep doing whatever it is you're doing, and those guys will bring you shit. Like that's awesome. That
Yeah.
The ability to do that is
And
really cool.
well, and by the way, the frigate itself opens up another menu of storage space. Like you get slots on the
Yeah.
frigate to send stuff up to.
But then I have to
Really?
be really
it
close
did
to
for me
it.
today.
And you can
Yeah.
like transmat it from the planet to
I'm
the
not
frigate,
exactly sure
or-
how it works. You might
You
have
can,
to.
You can send it to the freighter, but you have to be as far as freighter. You can send it to the freighter from anywhere, but you have to go onto the freighter to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that frigates had storage. I'm
Maybe
look it up.
it might just be a freighter. I don't
The
know.
freighter has storage.
So
yeah,
the freighter,
frigate-
the freighter itself has storage.
the frigates are
frigates.
these. They look dinky, but that's just next to the freighter. I got one of those like badass.
Okay, I don't have any
Sentinel-class
frigates yet,
ones.
but the freighter
They're
itself
cool.
has like it's in the
Oh, yeah.
same menu as your multi-tool and your suit and your ship.
Yeah, cool.
So you can send stuff up to it that way. But do you have any other final thoughts?
I wanted to ask Gojo, since you've
Yeah.
actually played the game in the last couple years, like periodically, is the graphical update noticeable at all?
Yeah. It's not like a huge improvement, but it's definitely there. The first time I booted up the game, I was on a planet. I'm like, holy shit. I think it was mostly because the terrain generation is a little more.
Yeah,
It's a little more varied and kind of realistic.
Okay.
Whereas before there were like a couple different just kind of terrain variations you could get, but the planet itself the terrain generation plus the graphics were a little better. Not
Alright.
not mind blowing by any stretch.
I
'Cause I-
feel like there's a lot more verticality to the planets that
Yeah.
I'm seeing now too. But
I mean, just as far as like the fidelity of it, like textures and stuff, it just looks like what I remember from
Yeah.
a couple years ago. But
Well, I think with such an elaborate generation system to randomize things, it kind of has to be simplified.
yeah, I
at
mean, it
least for
doesn't really
now.
matter to me. Like the graphics work, and they're cool looking just because they're so vibrant and colorful, and just all the whacked out stuff you see
Yeah.
that you'll never
And
never
just
see more than once.
just to kind of revisit our previous conversation about loot boxes and all that garbage, like this is again a game that is a developer that's constantly giving to its players.
Oh yeah,
And this is a game that when it came out was shit on by literally everyone.
they were getting death threats, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
because there weren't butterflies in
Yeah,
the game.
where the fuck are my butterflies? I'm sending
What?
anthrax to your home. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, instead of being like, "All right, well, I'm gonna fill fish and never
they
see any
they
of you
just
fuckers
they
again," I'm
fucking
like,
sealed
"All right,
their
let's keep
offices
making-
and they just
Yeah.
cranked shit out, and they've turned this game around to something that, like, I mean, the reviews on Steam are all are positive now, mostly
Yeah.
positive. Like
I-
it was mostly negative for the past 2
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they still have a lot of bugs to fix. Like
For
like
sure.
doors to my bases have just disappeared, and I'm like, well, okay, there was a door there, but no, there's not. Thanks, I'm not getting in
Just
now.
buy
But
a new one.
I could build infinity doors because I'm super rich. But but yeah, they still got a lot of work to do fixing bugs. But I mean, just the dedication they've shown to continually improving
Yeah.
their game, and I think the free stuff is a lot because we kind of fucked up the release. There's a lot of that, but there's also I think they're a dedicated.
I think
developer,
they
and
like they believe in their game and they
Yeah.
like it and they want it to be the best it can be, and like
absolutely.
people have invested a lot of money in it and they want to keep it going.
And I think they got a raw deal. I think
Oh, for sure. I think Sony fucked them.
put them on a stage, and then I don't know if Hello Games didn't ask for help, or if they didn't know how to ask for help, or if Sony didn't bother helping them, or what it was. But like I'm pretty sure Sean Murray of Hello Games did a pretty extensive interview with like a few different outlets, and it was basically just kind of like, I closed myself. We didn't talk to people because we didn't know how to talk to people. Like, we never learned that because we never had people asking us these questions and talking to us about these things. So we didn't understand the language of like, we are aiming for that, but it will not be there now, and like stuff like that. So they just kind of got screwed by how big the game blew up after being at the Video Game Awards that one year, and then
they were just as much a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't follow a lot of it, but leading up to it. But from what I heard, they were like out of money, and they're like, we have to release this game now, even though there's all these features we want to add that we don't have the money to add right now. So make the money. Keep supporting the game.
They signed a contract with Sony of like, this is the day.
Yeah. So that was that was Sony kind of swooping in. I don't want to blame the people with money or whatever, but they kind of swooped in. They're like, hey, this could be hot. Let's get it. And that just kind of created too much pressure, and now they have to force out a game that wasn't finished. And I think there's still a lot of room to add stuff. I mean,
that was going to be
I don't want to turn this game into like Mass Effect or something, but
that was going to be my next question. Is like, what sort of features would you want to see moving forward?
Cross-platform play.
That's my first one.
That would be a good one.
My second one's VR.
Yeah, I wanted VR when this
God,
launched.
yeah,
I
that would've
remember,
been
well,
sweet.
I was listening to our episode, and I was like talking about how awesome it would be in PSVR.
It would be incredible, but I think with the move to Xbox as well, I think they're probably less incentivized to do something like that now that they have so many users that won't be able to take any advantage
I want
of that.
them to do that so that Sony gets more pressure from a developer that people are starting to appreciate. I want the cross-platform.
I'm not saying cross-platform. I'm saying that's not going to happen because it's not going to happen. The VR probably won't happen because it's now open to Xbox as well. But I just don't think they would devote that much time and money to something that only potentially 2/3 or whatever size of.
I mean, there's a lot of games that have
play.
added VR mode that didn't need to. Like
Skyrim,
Payday 2
Fallout.
has a VR mode now.
God, yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Elite Dangerous, it actually does a lot for it. Like, it's a different game.
Oh no, I'm sure
because you can actually just turn your head when you're in the ship and look at and different screens will pop up when you're facing them, and you can actually like physically like reach out and hit buttons.
Well,
and
Yeah,
shit
but
like
that's
that.
cool.
this is a game that was made by 6 people, and
Yeah, I
granted, the team has for certain gotten bigger. I don't think they will spend the resources on such a limited install base of opportunity.
I can dream.
Yeah, no, I think it would be awesome.
It's
And
super immersive already. Like,
Oh, for sure.
even
Well,
so I mean, just taking it to VR, I feel like that would just be insane. It's just so perfect a fit.
quick shout out to my homie in the chat here, the Obsidian Mage, who is also a Midwesterner. What's up, dude?
Awesome.
But we were talking about how he was asking a lot of questions about the game while you guys were talking about it, and he and I were chatting. One of the things I brought up is that as a VR experience, it would be a great way to introduce people to VR that haven't played any sort of VR yet, because it's super chill environment. You have flying elements, which is something people find difficult to manage in VR for the first time, and you have the first person aspect. And I think Eve Valkyrie does a really great job of being a good flight sim in terms of introducing people to that sort of thing. And I think Skyrim VR is one of the best first person experiences playing like on VR. So for you to have a game that is as chill as like a Skyrim can be, but allow you to like fly around, it would be really easy to introduce people to VR and get VR legs and like not be throwing up every time they're done. Like,
yeah, if the flying games can be a bit disorienting, I've tried driving games and I feel like it actually makes it easier. Like you can sense depth and like when you should turn. And
right,
stuff
for
more.
sure.
Yeah, but flying, I mean, it makes it easier to get your bearings because you can just look up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like VR and I want to play more games in VR.
I
I think this is a perfect game for VR personally. But
Mostly, I want to see them flesh out multiplayer stuff a little bit more. Like, give it more for people to do. It'd be sweet if there were like like I don't know if the freighter missions and stuff are the ones that will be
It's-
more team based, but like have team based missions and stuff like that. I just want to see them start to flesh out that
Yeah.
multiplayer connection.
I would
Maybe-
love to see with the expanded base building. I would love to see like you be able to build settlements for like other aliens. Basically, just turn the game into 3D Starbound, and I'm there, man.
Yeah.
I'll give
That'd
you
be
more
sweet.
money.
It'd be sweet if you could make like an International Space Station type thing.
Oh,
where there's
gotta
like
think about
this
space
section was
stations,
built
yeah.
by me and this section was built by someone else.
You
and
can make space stations supposedly,
Really?
and you
All
can
right.
make underwater
Well,
bases.
the freighter
Gajopolis?
the
I'm
freighter
gonna do some underwater shit.
the
yeah.
freighter does have
You can build on your freighter.
yeah, there's like room in the freighter to like install rooms and stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
freighter
to do
owners
stuff.
know this.
Yeah, high rollers.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a guy who had built a settlement, like he'd built a tower that extended way up past the clouds.
No shit.
So you can build up into like out of the planet essentially.
I was
It's just-
wondering
Okay,
about
one-
that.
You know what?
One
now he's gotta
long
use
ladder.
fucking ladders to get up there. It's gonna take him 30 days to climb this ladder because he's got to go one rung at a time.
Well, can you build a landing pad for your ship?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have like.
So
7
why
in my
wouldn't
base
you
right
just build a landing pad for your ship up in the clouds and then you fly your ship up
Cloud
there and
City?
land and
now? Because fuck you. No, I'm
Then
sorry.
you
I
still-
didn't think of that. Damn
because fuck you very much.
it.
Yeah.
Damn it. I just wanted to shit on ladders more. God damn it! Why'd you ruin this for
That
me?
doesn't seem like it'd be a good idea.
All right.
Yeah, there was one system I was in where the planets were very close together, and I was thinking like, I wonder if I could just
could
build
bridge
a
them.
bridge between the two, and I think it might actually be possible.
Holy shit.
Or you could take the two planets, build the bridge between the two, and then build a large space stick coming off of that
well, yeah,
bridge.
that
So
was
then you
obviously
have
part of the main
you have two
You
plan.
have
planetary
the
balls.
largest dick and balls.
The-
in the
yeah,
world.
in the galaxy.
Oh man,
We're so mature.
that'll be system cock and balls.
Then they're gonna have to reset the whole system again, and
They just-
everyone's shit's gonna go away.
Yeah, cancel game.
Mature
game.
Game Nerds podcast.
yeah,
All right. I think that's it for No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
Should we move on
it was a
to
good one.
Our
we got a
feedback?
feedback segment.
Do you want me to read it or do you
Yeah,
got-
go ahead.
Okay.
It's all jumbled on my phone, so
Okay. This one comes in from Nick, fellow Midwest game nerd, film
Podcaster.
nerd, and all other shows that we do.
part of the Midwest Podcast Network.
Yes. Hey, game nerds. This is Nick, longtime listener, first time caller. Something in a recent episode and some Discord chat sparked a question for me. It feels to me as though most major studios are trying to continually to create the most compelling multiplayer experience rather than a game that is focused on a good single player or co-op story experience. Since I got into games, co-op has always been my jam, and the increase in online focus has been both good and bad for my favorite style of gaming. But in an increasingly online and competitive multiplayer geared gaming world, I find myself shrinking away from it and heading for more single-player or local/private co-op focused waters. Looking for games that fit this bill got me replaying Playdead's Limbo and Inside. I know Limbo ridiculously well. I've played through it at least a dozen times now, and it never gets old. One sequence in particular always stands out to me, and I'm always greeted with it with the same sense of awe that I was the first time I played it. Coincidentally, Zach was recently talking about favorite video game music, and I recalled the track Shells from the Max Payne 3 soundtrack from my favorite level in the game, a sequence that totally blew my mind the first time. I can instantly recall how insanely badass I felt during that level and how the story of Max Payne felt so adjusted and affected by this encounter. The prominence of these two different memories and levels really jumped out at me, which brings me around to my question. What are some of your guys' favorite levels or all-time favorite levels or sequences? This can be both single-player and co-op. I'm talking the stuff that makes you go back to games you've already played countless times. Some examples for me, the twist and on in Portal. The twist and on in Portal. Every temple in Ocarina of Time is incredible, but the Spirit Temple has always popped for me as a standout. The first encounter with the Scarab in Halo 2 was one of the great holy shit moments I encountered. The opening mission of Metal Gear Solid changed the way I looked at video games. Blasting through the climax of Halo 3 with Gojo is among the greatest co-op levels I've ever experienced. And of course, the facility from GoldenEye, which I have played several hundred times. It helped define my first console experience and inspired my gamer tag. My fascination with obscure side characters goes way back. He says, I could go on, and I'm hoping you guys do as well. Of course, I'll always remember some Hallmark online multiplayer moments. See Gojo, Alex, and I holding base C in Battlefield and winning the day.
That was legendary, dude.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Every perfect dart meet sim Slaughterfest. Gojo and I decimating White Pass in Bad Company 2 and
Oh,
etc.
hell yeah, son.
But levels and boss fights that are designed and constructed by someone so that you can play through a crafted experience are something that seem to be slowly going by the wayside, and that bums me out. Love you boys. Yours in the loquaciousness, Nick. P.S. All of the Mad Max game. So.
Did I ever tell you guys about my smoke grenade kill in Bad Company 2?
No.
I heard about it.
Oh my God, it's literally the greatest thing that ever happened in a video game. So there's, I'm just, before I answer your question, Nick, I'm gonna take 3 hours to tell this story. There's just this house, like 2-story house with an attic, and there's like one of those tiny little windows up at the top where a guy can hide up and snipe from.
This is Bad Company 2.
This is Bad Company 2,
Okay.
which is the last great Battlefield, also the only first great Battlefield I ever played. You know what? Fuck it. But yeah, there's a guy up there he's shooting at me, and I loved smoke grenades in that game. They were literally the greatest thing, and they were all under barrel, and I just basically had an entirely smoked base offense. So I just fired so many damn smoke grenades that people probably stopped playing the game and they're like, just make
That
Battlefield
was
3
you?
over. Yes. All of them were me.
I
But-
played on PC.
So yeah, I see this guy shooting at me like and of course my first instinct is to shoot a smoke grenade like at the building so that he can't see out and I can rush in and take him. But then I just take this quick shot and I'm like, boom, and I hit the guy through this like 2-foot wide window, kill him with my smoke grenade. I just quit the game.
Smoke grenade
Fuck it.
headshot.
Yeah,
There's no reason to play
instant
after
kill.
That
that.
was
I'm
beautiful.
honestly the greatest video game player ever there was, and that was White Pass. That was in White Pass, as mentioned in the
in the email.
Yeah.
Brian, what could you come up with anything? I know
I didn't have enough time to adequately prepare for this, but
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking more like co-op level experiences that I recall.
Well, you play a
Very
lot of
fondly.
co-op games.
I did. Like, I played, like, all of Halo 1 and 3, I think I played through start to finish co-op, and that was an excellent experience. I definitely, yeah, I remember thinking with the first Halo, like, holy shit, when you deal with the flood and in the darkness, even playing with somebody else, you're just, like, running for your life constantly, and that was just amazing.
Oh god, that was like the first really terrifying moment in a video game for me. I was like, oh shit, no.
I had a blast with the Gears of War games, playing those co-op, couch co-op most of the time, actually. Like Gears of War 2, I remember, I think that's probably my favorite campaign overall. There's this one level where you end up, it's just so fucking, like, epic shit happens in those games all the time because, they're just, like, testosterone-fueled, like, bullshit. And but they're awesome. There's, like, a point where you end up inside a giant fucking worm. It's just this huge worm creature, and you're, like, so you're running around, like, in its innards. And I don't. That part kind of stands out as far as that whole thing and horde mode in general, but that's not really like. I mean, I probably had specific levels that I liked better than others, but
yeah.
just that whole experience because we did it. It was like partially online, partially couch co-op. Like me and Alan would play split screen with Jim and Charlie on Xbox Live. And we played that thing like every fucking day until we finally got to wave 50 and beat it, which was a huge undertaking, especially because it was designed for a squad of 5 people, not
That's
4.
crazy.
Just, yeah, a lot of stuff like that. As far as like levels go, I mean, I'm still obsessed with the original Doom and Doom 2, and I like know those levels like so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can play all the way through the first Doom on Ultraviolence without dying or reloading, just because I still have it memorized.
Beautiful.
But yeah, as far as like specific levels, I would say like the Cyber Demon boss fight is just fucking awesome. And then like Doom 2, that Tricks and Traps level always got me. That's the one I can never seem to remember exactly what's going to happen, but it was just crazy because they just pulled all this bullshit where they'd spawn you into a large room full of everything you could think of. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I'd have to think about it more.
John.
All right, this is hard because I don't finish a lot of games. But if I have to pick out a couple of sequences from games that really meant something to me, the entire disc 1 of Final Fantasy VII was like one of the most heart-wrenching experiences to go through, I think, especially towards the end, for obvious reasons. No spoilers. Even though if you haven't played that game by now, you're a fucking idiot.
21 years.
Yes,
How about,
for those of our listeners who weren't born when the game came out, I
Right.
imagine.
Also, the opening cinematic for Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver
Mm.
is also another like heart-wrenching one because you're Azrael, one of Kain's generals, and you've been gifted wings before he does, and instead of embracing you, he literally breaks your wings and throws you into water and burns them away. Super
dick
sad.
move.
It's super dick move, but that game was cool because it was one of the first games that had seamless loading between worlds, so you never had to load. It just played. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
Wow.
Again, Nick mentioned the first opening sequence of Metal Gear Solid. That is, that is like he said, it changed the way he looked at video games. That completely changed the way I looked at video games. And also, speaking of Metal Gear Solid, the Psycho Mantis sequence is one of the best and most like terrifying things I've ever experienced in a video game before. Let me think. What else? The first zombie in Resident Evil to this day scares the shit out of me no matter which version of the game I play. He's fucking terrifying. The second he turns around and looks at you, oh man.
Specifically Resident Evil 1, the hallway. The
first
hallway when you turn right in the mansion.
Yep.
Where like it is just horrifying, and I never knew until years later that if you don't run through that hallway, the dogs never jump through the window.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Like that is a level of game design. Like it's such a small detail, but
I'll
it's
keep
so
that in
hard.
mind.
It's so hard to not run through that hallway because of how creepy it is.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's just one room in this game, and it's that horrifying to me. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of other things about like certain games. Like even if we go back to Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the music from that game is such a nostalgic punch. Like because that was, other than Final Fantasy VII, that was one of the first games where I would like beg to get done with school so I could go home and play that game. And I would play it until I went to bed at night, and I would wake up and I'd play it before going to school in the morning, and then I was obsessed with that game, and the music in that game is so good. The catacombs, like the library, the clock tower, specifically the clock tower. Oh man, the metal riffs that just rip through in the clock tower.
that might be one of the few soundtracks that I could just put on.
You could put on and listen to it, yeah,
the whole way
regularly.
through. Yeah.
It's just so good. Yeah, I mean, those are probably the main ones that stick out to me. If I'm to pick some more recent ones, I mean, I like the co-op experience in A Way Out was incredible. Like it was such a great cinematic experience. Have you played that yet?
I've had my eye on it.
You and Nick should play through it. The two of you would fucking love that game. It was so, I mean, it is pretty linear, but you do get to choose like whose way is the better way to go about different events. But there's a specific sequence in the hospital that is just fucking awesome. Like, and the cinematic, like the way the camera's moving and playing around like with what you guys are doing is just really like that. You'll be hard pressed to find another game that does that, I think.
Real quick, these are guys that did Brothers, right? Did you ever play
Yeah.
that?
I did not play that.
Okay, I'm not going to go into it, but play it.
Okay.
It's like, it's a co-op game for one person. It's crazy.
Okay.
But play it, yeah.
Well, that was, you probably didn't play, but Super Mario, Mario and Luigi, the fuck's the name?
Superstar Saga.
Superstar Saga on
I
Game
did
Boy
not
Advance. Play that. Find a Game Boy Advance and play that game. It's
got
one of the
an
best
There you
RPGs
go.
I've ever played. But yeah, I don't finish a lot of games, so it's hard for me to pick out these moments. I mean, the new God of War is good if I'm picking a new single player game to pick at.
Yeah.
The first time you kill a dragon in Skyrim is fucking
I
awesome.
thought about that moment
Like,
too. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
things like that, you know. The
first
time
time you kill a dragon in VR in Skyrim.
yeah,
VR.
that's
Jeez.
with a bow and arrow, because you can actually do it in VR with a bow and arrow, and it makes sense and feels good.
Yeah, and
Whereas
then
like
it lands in front of you and immolates you
and
It's
bursts
like,
into
ugh.
flames, and then it's just like, the first super mutant you kill with a baby nuke in Fallout 3. Like, I mean, those are good moments, things
Yeah.
like that. The first time Three Dog recognizes you as like the stranger or whatever the hell your name is, the traveler,
The Wanderer.
the wanderer, the lone
Three
wanderer.
Dog.
Like those sorts of things. Like when you are so engrossed in a world of a game and you as the player feel recognized, like that's something that's pretty epic, I think.
Yeah. I was thinking of like being engrossed in a world, and like the parts that I have actually played over a lot is like the beginning and the end of Mass Effect 2. Like just the beginning, like when like everything you're so attached to that ship after playing the first game, and everything is
Spoiler
just
alert.
gone.
Fuck.
Whatever.
The end, the
We got
the-
another spoiler. The princess is in another castle, guys.
the end of Mass Effect 2, the quote unquote suicide mission.
Yeah, you're just pulling out all the stops. Everybody's involved. Not everyone's gonna make it unless you know what you're doing.
Stupidly good, yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Alex?
Well, of course, the first level of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is one of the finest crafted pieces of gameplay. Now, Nick asked me this while we were on the way to Tim's bachelor party. He kind of brought up this idea. He's like, I was going to write this in. And the first thing that came to my mind was actually Titanfall 2. There's a mission in Titanfall 2 that introduces a mechanic and then immediately throws it away after that mission is done.
That's so good, though.
That mission is incredible.
That whole
It's one of my
campaign
favorite
was-
missions of all video games, and I don't necessarily care for first-person shooters that much. But this is Titanfall 2.
Good. Okay. I had
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2
Never
as
played
a
it, but-
single-player campaign, and
The
one
single-player
is not.
campaign it's not super long. It
It's
is
great,
absolutely
though.
worth playing through.
Okay, I
It's-
need to play that. Yeah.
It's like
Um,
non-stop action too.
I'm gonna steal a few that I assume would be on Gojo's if they weren't, if I didn't take them already. But Act 4 of Metal Gear Solid 4 is just incredible. It is not just like honestly, I have not played through it since I first played it, and I think if I did it again, I would just be crying the whole time.
Dude, it's for me. That's the greatest moment in all video.
That is the act,
That act
where
is
you go
holy
back
shit.
to Shadow Moses, which is the island of the first Metal Gear Solid game,
Yeah.
and seeing how far the series had come from then, because you get like flashbacks of what it was like, but then also just seeing that those levels rendered in way better graphics is just incredible.
I was pretty blown away by the opening hour of the 5th game, honestly.
No, that's
Oh,
it's
God.
also quite good.
Especially with the music and everything. It's just-
And then also in Metal Gear Solid 4, the microwave hallway is just one of the greatest video game moments that has ever occurred, and is so totally Hideo Kojima that. And then Metal Gear Solid 2, after the torture scene and the Colonel starts going insane.
Basically all the Metal Gear games.
Jeez, I could make an entire show just based on Metal Gear moments.
Oh no,
God, yeah.
absolutely. But I was horrified.
That was
Like there's
so
one
creepy that
there's
was
one
in there.
point
Holy
where
shit.
Colonel's like, "You've been playing this game too long. Turn it off. You're gonna ruin your eyes." And I was like, I almost turned I was like, okay, I'm done for tonight.
turn the game.
can't do
off
this
right
anymore.
Now.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Didn't
It was horrifying to me.
Didn't Mom watch you play Metal Gear 3 like all the way through, basically?
to make sure it was okay.
No.
No, I think she was sucked into the story of one of the Metal Gear games with you. Like I remember her
It
sitting.
might have
in-
been Metal Gear 2, but I don't know.
I don't- yeah, I
can't
don't
Does
remember.
your mom just like blame nanomachines for everything now?
No, she
Okay.
should, but she
Then it
doesn't.
wasn't for. It wasn't for.
But no, yeah, there's a bunch of great stuff in Metal Gear.
Alex, how about Barney's hide and seek?
Barney's hide and seek is really just
Oh,
like
man.
it's basically a reskin of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker.
Yeah.
So,
But even
it
more
is also great.
terrifying
Does
and
Barney
full
do
of-
the smooth criminal lead?
No, unfortunately. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen that.
that would make that game infinitely better.
I've seen that game in several video game shops around here,
Yeah.
and I have had to stop myself from buying it every single time because I don't have my old copy.
Yeah, you
of it.
traded it.
I traded it for Sonic 2, which is the right call. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's like $7 cartridge only, and I've been like, I should pick that up,
Do it.
but no, I
For
shouldn't.
$7,
pick that up.
man. I mean,
Do
come
it.
on.
So anyway, Gojo.
Oh God, yeah. I honestly could spend like an entire episode on this. I mean, specifically co-op. I probably shouldn't go too much into it because everything I'm going to say is with co-op with Nick probably, so he already knows all that. Halo. Halo 1 is actually more of a me and Tony game. Assault on the Control Room. We could do that on Legendary blindfolded.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
I don't even
dude.
think I can finish one level. On
Honestly,
Legendary.
that's the only
At
level
least
we
by
ever play.
myself.
Like if we had to do like Silent Cartographer or something, we'd probably just like break the controller on accident or something because that's the only level we ever played. Let's see. Halo 3 is with Nick, and basically once you get to the Arc and beyond, which is when that game really takes off, that's some of the best, which includes the ending, which is probably one of if not the greatest ending to a video game ever. Halo 3. God, you're driving off basically this brand new Halo that's exploding around you in your Warthog. It's insane. It's phenomenal. It's the best part of the Halo series, maybe one of the best parts of video gaming.
The funny thing is, I feel like every time I did one of those sequences, they were probably not that easy, but I had so much adrenaline going that I did it in one try.
Oh God, yeah. Try like dying at any point in that. You're totally ruined. Like
Yeah.
if you screw up once, it's like, well, now I'm going to die 10 more times because you've lost that edge. But if you go through it, the adrenaline's firing. It's insane.
Did you play the fourth one?
Yes.
The end sequence was a cool take on that whole thing.
Oh,
where you're
God, yeah.
flying like the ship.
You're doing the Death Star
gauntlet.
run.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's amazing. Halo 4, I don't know.
Halo 4 is good.
I don't know where it's rated, like in the popular, I don't know, vernacular or whatever, but it's underrated. It's probably the best Halo.
It
game,
is.
as far
It's
as
a
I'm
really good campaign. It
Yeah.
is terrible multiplayer
Okay,
wise.
never touched it.
Yeah.
But yeah, underrated. Oh God, where was I? Co-op?
5.
Anything else co-op? No. Splinter Cell. The multiplayer in Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory. Holy shit! When we were in high school, we would play until like the sun came out.
I always wanted to try that.
Nick
I never had a chance.
So fucking good. Oh my God. Probably not now because it's aged poorly. And it's probably impossible.
Nick brought it up on that car trip, and honestly, I think it is time for them to make that again. Like that
Jesus
needs
It
Christ.
might
to
be
happen.
playable on PC.
Yeah, probably.
If
It's
you
probably
could
still
just
good on PC.
sharpen
if
it
you can
up
find
enough.
3 more people to play it on PC. Play the Chaos Theory one. Pandora Tomorrow's a little wonky. But geez, that's phenomenal. Oh God. I don't know if I have any other co-op ones. Besides, he knows all of them already. Single player, I could honestly talk forever. Final Fantasy X. Basically,
thing.
the whole game. But the stretch where you go from after the Thunder Plains to when you get to the Calm Lands. That's like that's the whole meat of the game. And for an RPG, that's not exactly a fast-paced game. You just get pulled through it. That's all the meat of the story is there. It is the most like relentless. It's the greatest moment of that game, and it's just when I play that, I have to power through the whole thing because I can't pull myself away. It's it's so great. I could go through like every Metal Gear Solid game. Oh God, co-op. When Nick and I played Kane and Lynch, which is fucking awful. But basically, it's like just these two scumbags who are I don't even remember what the game was about, but there's this moment where they overuse the word fuck in that game so much. Like I think that might have been one of the first where I was like, I swear a lot, but this is a bit much. This is a little indulgent. So there's this one part where, of course, it's a heist thing. It's a heist game, and of course we're running to get to the van. And they're like, "Where's the van?" I'm like, "Fuck! Where's the fuck?" And both Nick and I just were laughing, and we had to pause the game because it was ridiculous. Okay, Metal Gear Solid 1. I'm gonna go through each game. The numbered sequences. In 1. Favorite moment. Oh God, shit! I can't say favorite moment. Just first one off the top of my head. The first time you see Metal Gear Rex, you get in that room because like the game up to that point, I remember it's like you go through so much to get to that point, and like you're kind of drained, and you're like all this shit's happening around you. There's all these like subplots. Like oh my God, are they just screwing with me? Am I just gonna die here? And then you see Metal Gear Rex, you're like, I have to blow that
I
thing
have to
up.
take it down.
I'm going to fucking blow that thing up. And you just like, it's like the biggest second wind every time I see it. And I'm just so, it's just so jacked. I'm like, yes, time to fuck this robot up. Metal Gear Solid 2, the fight with the Rays. This is the only Metal Gear Solid game I will play on anything harder than normal, because if you play it on hard, you have to fight like 20 Metal Gears at the almost at the same time, 3 at a time. But it's nuts.
Watching someone speed run that is mind blowing.
Do they cheese it, or do they just go through it?
It's more of a technical. It's not like a glitch cheese. It is I know the patterns and I will.
Okay, I beat that on extreme. And I think I had to take down like 25.
Yeah.
And you could take like 2 hits. And I did it. And to this day, my beating Metal Gear Solid 2 is my greatest accomplishment in video games on extreme. But that just fighting off 20 of those is amazing. Normally you have to do like 5. And every time I do that, I'm like, wait, that was it? Well, fuck. 3? God, see, 3 is probably like objectively the second best, but I have fewer moments from that one.
The end.
Yeah, fighting the end is phenomenal.
The character, the boss battle, the end, not the end of the game. The end, but the end of the game too.
Everything with the sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everything with, but the boss fight.
His boss fight, yeah.
Jesus. The first time I blew up a food storehouse and caused the guards to get super hungry, and then threw a poison dart frog on the ground. They're like, "Yes, food," and they ate it and died. That was great.
Yeah.
4, yeah, yeah, everything Alex said. Is there anything else in that one? No, not really. God, Shadow Moses is just like everything I could possibly feel. I feel during that segment. It's like, it's not just coming back to it and seeing it like in real people graphics now. It's seeing how run down everything is. And you're going through this place that holds basically all of your special memories of Metal Gear Solid. Like everything you love about Metal Gear Solid came from the first one, and you just kind of learn to love everything else that came after. But then going back, what was it, 10 years later?
Yeah.
And just seeing everything just run down, and you're like, and then Snake himself is just run down, and he's on death's door, but he keeps going. It's just, oh God, it's just thematically so heavy. Ugh. And then the part about that game that I had spoiled for me was the Rex versus Ray fight.
Oh.
And I heard about that. I'm like, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. I hope that isn't real. And then I did it, and it was the greatest.
It's fucking incredible.
I went from 0 to 60 on playing as Metal Gear Rex instantly. I was like, don't want this. And then I'm controlling it. I'm like, my life is complete now. Life is fantastic. The opening of Metal Gear Solid 5, incredible.
Yeah.
There aren't really many other like
moments in that
moments in that game, unfortunately, by design. Yeah.
Anything else stick out?
I didn't even talk like every other game ever, did I? Just Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy
You did.
X.
You did open it by saying you could talk about this forever.
I literally can. Yeah. Levels. I didn't talk levels. The bank in Chaos Theory is so good. It's like the only Chaos Theory. It's the only Splinter Cell level I ever did like perfectly.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm without spending more time thinking about it, I'll come up with 20 things on the way home. But yeah.
All right.
Right on, man.
Thank you, Nick, for writing in.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. We appreciate it. If you want to follow us on social media or see all the places you can listen to or watch the show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. The Midwest Podcast Network now has a Patreon. The Patreon is meant to benefit all the shows on the network. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month and help keep our shows alive and well. Check it out at patreon.com/MidwestPodNet. Thanks again to Jason K. for his contribution of $10. We really appreciate it. As always, we do appreciate your feedback, which you can send to MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Shout out to the Obsidian Mage in the Twitch chat there. We appreciate you stopping by, man. I hope you enjoy this podcast and pick it up on your regular feed to listen to. And thanks to Corey for jumping in there at the end and talking about the microwave hallway.
Yes.
So, other than that, Alex, what's going on with the network?
Horror Movie Yearbook just put out a visit to 1996 to talk about the film Fear with Marky Mark. And
we Reese Witherspoon.
And Reese Witherspoon, yes. It's quite a good discussion. Everyone should check it out. And then Gone to Texas, episode 5 of season 3 came out last week. We're going to do episode 6 of season 3 this week. And it's been a good season of Preacher, which is sad because it could potentially be the last. And they have a lot more to do. So hopefully that's not the case, but everyone should check it out so that the show gets to keep going. And listen to our show as well, because I think we do a good job recapping it. So
Do it.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. A little bit of a longer podcast this time. I know it's been like a month since we've had an episode, which
Yeah.
isn't normal for us, but we've been super busy. There's been kind of a lull in everything going on in the gaming world. So hopefully we can kind of pick things back up in the next couple weeks here after I get married, which,
Yes.
Man, if that could just be over with.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. So anyways, the next episode will probably be my review of No Man's Sky next, and we'll go from there.
And
So,
whatever else we play.
Yeah,
so.
whatever else we play in the meantime.
Dead Cells is coming out of early access on August 7th, and anybody
Really?
who likes Castlevania or Metroid-style games should pick it up.
Absolutely.
It is going to be on the Switch.
All right, we'll
It's
have
a
to get
perfect
it
place
then.
to get it. So
It is a very enjoyable game already.
Yes.
So, yeah, really, I just didn't want to get burned out on it before it was out of early access.
Yeah,
so I
me
stopped
too.
playing.
But we'll get into that on
Yep.
the next episode, maybe, hopefully. Thanks again. What?
I vowed to check out
Far Cry 2.
Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice in VR because that's going to be out the 31st
Ooh,
Interesting.
nice.
for free if you already own the game on Steam like I do. So
cool.
that should be wild.
Right on.
All right.
Probably
cool.
won't finish it, but whatever.
Thanks again, everybody, for listening. We'll check you out next time. Peace.